Nicole because she was in Long Island for the client yesterday. So after the movie, like she was passed out. I got home.
Did she? We're not live yet, right?
We're live.
Yeah,
We're
we are,
live.
but
yeah.
no, she didn't.
Sorry.
No,
She didn't.
No,
No, she didn't. 1 point. Yeah,
Dude,
I know.
Dude,
I know. She was so lit.
I feel now it's gonna come back with more of a fury.
That's what I said.
And I hate it.
Yeah, it's not.
You were close too, right?
Yeah,
you were within
3
yeah.
points.
I was like, fuck.
Yep.
We gotta take it and move it somewhere else.
We're live.
No, we're not live.
We're live.
No, actually, no.
Oh, we can say whatever we want about these.
Huh?
Okay.
I love you.
We're live.
I'm looking at delayed right now. I'm looking into his soul.
I didn't know. Okay, I didn't audio test. If there's any issues with the audio, just let me know. Chat will let me know. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's. This is episode 140 through 145. Will the real final villain please stand up?
Yeah.
I am joined. It is not a full team. Unfortunately, Nick T was not able to make it tonight. No worries. We will keep him, of course, in our thoughts. We have Calibro, we have Dredger, and we have Pete. The men to my left. Dredger, I'm going to start with you. How you doing, man?
I was good until you said we're putting Nick T in our thoughts and prayers.
Okay, no. I didn't say prayers. I just said thoughts.
Rest in peace.
We're thinking about
Why
him.
are we thinking about him?
Well, I'm
always thinking about him.
I'm always
Why?
thinking about
Always
him.
thinking
You guys are.
He's a good
weird.
guy.
No,
He's a good dude.
No,
I always think
that's-
about my friends.
That's
I
questionable.
think about you guys all the time.
That's
I love my
questionable.
friends.
So you're doing good.
Yes, I'm doing otherwise. Yeah, I'm
Good,
doing
good.
great. Doing great.
Caliber, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Actually, no. I'm doing
No.
fantastic. How are you?
Pete, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Colin Cleaves is here, and he said, "Go on, Pete, say it." I'll say it, Colin.
I
I'm
don't
looking
want-
right into the
you
camera.
don't want him to say
I'm
it.
talking right directly
You
to
don't
you,
want
buddy. I
him.
can't
You don't
wait.
want him to say it.
Oh, God.
You don't want him to say it.
We have 6 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush to cover here, man.
Yeah.
It could be, and I have to keep saying could be because we don't know for sure. Most likely, I will say, it's going to be the final arc here. And these 6 episodes might be the final half of the first half of the final arc.
We're in the end game now.
Obviously, we will talk about that at some point, whether the show is ending in March. I did a video on it. I did a discussion video. For those that are unsure and want kind of a quick rundown, we really don't know. We don't know if it's ending in March. It seems more than likely that it will, just based on past trends of Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows going 3 years, starting in early April, ending in late March. But we don't know. I mean, maybe it will get extended. There's a lot of people that believe it will get extended. I'm actually not one of them. I do think it's going to end in late March in 151. But we'll have a discussion. You guys might feel it's going to go longer. We'll see how the poll goes as well. Make sure you vote in the poll. And so that will definitely be a big discussion. But, of course, before we get to that, we've got to talk 140, 142.
No. Thank you. Well said. Well said.
Wait a second.
143.
No, he's right.
144 and 145 as we are now really making our way into what could be the final arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. And, you know, if you told me, hey, we're going to get through these 6 episodes, I would have said, all right, I think we will no longer be in the Sengaku
You did say that.
era.
Multiple times.
Of course.
Remember when I said don't hold on to that hope before
What
the
did
arc
I-
started?
Of course. I had no problem getting in front of this mic, as I have many times throughout my life, throughout the
We tried to warn you.
throughout
We
the
did.
history
We've
of
been
this
saying it.
podcast. I felt that it was going to be, in the future or in the present. We are not, and there's no indication that we are getting to the future or the present. Where are we? In the next couple of episodes, we will be reading the 46 and 147 summaries as well a little later on. So it is a loaded episode for you guys today.
Yeah.
So happy that I'm able to talk with the boys about it. And whenever we have a lot of episodes to cover, because normally this is a podcast that I think is best when it's episode by episode.
Yeah.
But obviously we have 6 full episodes to cover.
Big batch.
So I almost don't really know kind of how to format this. I did not discuss it with you guys how you wanted to format it. I think a good question to start before maybe we go quickly episode by episode, I want to know your general thoughts on where you are right now feeling about Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush overall. And, that's a tough question to answer, not knowing when it's ending, because I'm sure if I said to you, hey, Pete, the show's going to have 151 episodes versus, hey, Pete, the show's going to have 164 episodes, assuming it gets another arc, it's a huge difference. Yeah. So I want to know your, and we'll start with you, Pete. just how you're feeling after these 6 episodes with where the show is right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mid, to be honest.
Okay.
Like I am not at my lowest point. I think really the last 3 or so episodes, especially the last 2, really kind of, I don't want to say save it, because I really have actually enjoyed, for the most part, majority of these episodes, you know, barring one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm of the mindset that this show is going to end at the end of March. So we have what, 6 or 7 to go?
6 to 7, yeah.
Right.
It'd be 6. Yeah.
So 6
6
to
exactly.
go. 6 exactly to go. It just doesn't feel like we have a lot of clarity, or it doesn't feel like we're wrapping up a lot of the situations we need to.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle right now. I'm definitely trepidatious. I'm a little nervous right now, but I'm not as low as I could be. So that's kind of where I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to see the vision of what they're going for here. Maybe it's a Yugioh thing. We'll talk about that. But I'm not in total love with the direction we're moving, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm halfway there, but you really got to do some more work to pull me in.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Dredger, through these 6 episodes. Yeah.
You go there first.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
He's right.
Okay.
Oh, my.
All right. Well, that usually means somebody bless the stream.
I wasn't
JR, of
talk.
course.
That's fine. I knew.
appreciate that. JR Glenn with the $100. JR, thank you so freaking much, my
Thank
man.
you, JR.
I know
Thanks,
he does not
JR.
want me to spend too much time thanking him. JR Glenn, thank you. If we could get some ATEM thumbs up in chat. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything channel member, spam the ATEM thumb ups. JR, love you, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Said no thanks.
No, he always says that.
always
What am I
does.
going to
Every
do?
time. Every time.
But does he want me to say up? JR donated 100.
Great.
So Dredger, your thoughts? Come
Yes.
on.
I think that's honestly what he wants.
I think it is. Well,
As crazy as that
I can't do that. JR,
sounds. No, I know you can.
Thank you so much, my man. Seriously, the guy is freaking
He
incredible.
wants to support without having the spotlight on him.
Yes,
That's really
no,
what
and
it is.
I get that.
But it's hard when you're then blessed.
dude.
How do you not then
It's
address
an
it?
insane
So it's like
donation.
that, you know.
And I do get that
Yeah.
perspective. And
He
you're
might.
right.
He wrote exactly, Dill.
Yes, but I mean, come on. I gotta
No,
take
you
a little
gotta,
bit
I
of time
agree.
to thank him. But I'm not gonna go crazy because I know he does not want that. JR,
don't get the money
thank you,
gun?
my man. The money guy, I'd have to reload it every time for
Oh, that'd be-
he's just been crazy.
can't
with
do
it.
that.
Challenging if you just launch one bill at a time.
Oh,
That would be challenging.
Snapfire.
You know what I never even mentioned this. So on one of the dollar bills, I put a smiley face in Sharpie marker. And when Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 was supposed to be announced, I was going to say whoever finds
There was
the
a
dollar
prize?
bill with the Sharpie dollar, they can have me do any video they want me to do.
Pretty cool, Willy Wonka.
Any video, yes.
Wow.
And I've
golden
never,
ticket.
I've never even revealed that. We didn't even get that.
No, I
opportunity.
didn't even know
It was a
that.
dead night.
It's a great
Yeah.
idea, though.
Yeah.
Hey, for next announcement, Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, you know?
Yeah, dude. When you get into Card Fight Vanguard, you could do it then.
Well, they've
Beyblade.
confirmed their anime is good through 2030.
Exactly.
so-
Oh, yeah.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
it's the right time to switch.
Oh my God.
Dredger, JR, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dredger, how are we feeling, man, about these 6
I mean,
episodes?
I've been concerned for a long time. I was the first one. I think Pete was right there behind me, concerned with what we're doing. Now, again, as Pete said, the last 3 or 4 episodes, 143 through 145, right? Because 142, 141.
142 was solid.
142, yeah. Now the episodes were very good. I enjoyed them. They moved the plot in some ways. My issue and still issue has been this doesn't feel like it should be the final arc of everything. Like, it's not a culmination. The final arc of any show to me is a culmination of everything that's happened so far in the show, and I just feel like going into the past at this time, if we are ending in 6 weeks, we're ending. I just don't like. I think it's being done well. I enjoy the episodes, but just the timing of it. So I'm with Pete. I'm concerned. I don't know what's gonna happen. I definitely think we are not gonna clear up plot points. The only way you're gonna get everything is if these last 6 episodes are like crazy full, and based on the summary, because I did watch the video, I don't believe that we're going to get that in at least 146. 147 seems like it'll be more.
Agreed.
We'll get more plot there, but
Agreed.
146 seems like it's not going to be.
We got a giant woman at least. It's a good consolation. Like if the ending's not going to be good, at least that's a good
It
consolation.
also it is going to take away from your short about Mitsuko being the tall woman because now you got to retract that because now we have a second tall woman.
Yes, but she's still taller because she's 10 feet. This one's 8 feet.
Mitsuko is 10?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right. I always forget
10 feet. Think about that, man.
That's
That's bigger than Lady D, right? She's like 8 feet.
Lady D,
or
I think, is
something,
8.5. Yeah.
right? Damn.
Yeah.
It's a big woman.
Mitsuko is
But yeah, so I'm still concerned. I'm worried about plot points not being cleared up. That's always been my biggest thing.
Yep.
I'm also not a huge thing. We'll touch more on it with Yugioh, the final villain thing. But
We're going to go into the...
Yeah, we are gonna. But just real quick, this is such a quick turn. So if he does become our final villain, I think it's definitely not my favorite, and we'll obviously address it more moving forward. But overall, I enjoyed the episodes we watched, except for one. Which will be left nameless, but we all know what it is. But that's okay.
We'll get there.
I think we should avoid talking about the whole time, truthfully.
Very annoying.
But yeah, they're good episodes. But the timing of it, where we are in the story, with only 6 episodes left, I'm very concerned, and I've been concerned. I'm almost at this point. I need the show to go longer because I think that'll give them a chance to have a better, non-rushed, clear up all your plot point ending. So,
yeah, no, that's very, very fair to feel concerned. I think there's a lot of people that are also concerned. Calibro, I would love, before we actually get to you, Calibro, I think this is important. Do we all think the show is ending in March, or do any of you guys think it's going longer? And I'd love to know what the poll's at as well. What is
59 to 41? Yes, it will end in March.
Okay, but there's still a big chunk of people that think it's going to go beyond. So I think it's a fair. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer right now. By the way,
Yeah.
I mean we don't know.
I think it is ending in March.
Okay, Dredge
I agree.
and Cal, you agree?
I don't think it's ending in March.
Okay.
But it's
I hope you're right.
I'm like,
I hope you're right,
it's,
too.
It's honestly, I just flipped a coin in my head, and that's how I'm getting my answer. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's again.
You can use the real one.
All right, so we got Yugi is
Groundhog Day.
heads, which will be Yugi is continuing. Tails, it is not.
It's over.
Let's make it very simple.
Shoot.
It's Jover.
It's Jover. So now I'm wrong.
The coin has spoken. Not
Well,
good.
that's not good.
That's a
That's
really,
not a good sign.
really
The
bad
tribe
sign.
has spoken.
Actually, wait a minute. Wasn't the coin terrible? Like it was always
No, the
wrong?
coin was pretty good.
Oh, crud.
I'm pretty sure it picked the sheet of glass.
Not a sheet of glass.
Poor sheet of
All right,
God, dude.
Calibro, how are you feeling? Your thoughts on these 6 episodes, man?
So on the 6 episodes, overall pretty good, I think. There was one stinker in there for sure. The other
God, that's so bad.
You're very annoying.
Yes, that's
You're
true.
Very annoying.
That was something.
You
dude.
really, I can't wait for when you're an actual dad because you've been
God,
locked and loaded with
man.
those jokes for about 5
for
years.
years.
It's crazy.
Before I even get into individual episodes, I'm a little worried. I think
Just a little.
yeah, I mean I'll get more into my opinion on the Otis thing, but like I thought that was something that needed to be cleared up, and I was really happy that like we got that information. However, I don't necessarily love how kind of quickly Otis is here and gone. I just feel like you didn't really get that much about like who he is. We just kind of got where he went.
It was like 7s.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got where he went to,
Yeah.
but not who he is. Yes. We still don't really know anything about him
It's a
other
concept.
The only thing I'm super excited for, real quick, I mean, don't need me to cut you off, is when we get to watch you eat these mango habanero wings on stream. I'm super excited.
Do you want to know something? If you offered right now and said, Dylan, we can cancel that bet, I would still say no. I feel good about it still. I still think he's going to unmask before the show
You're
ends.
psychotic.
I still feel good about it.
In 6 episodes. So now
Yeah.
we're wasting an episode on Otis again.
Not wasting. I think he's
No,
the key.
no, it is wasting.
Honestly,
I
at
think
this
he's
point,
the
I
key.
agree it is not wasting because you owe me.
Yeah.
I've watched
Yeah.
200 plus episodes. You
Yeah.
owe me
You actually
this.
watched
Yes.
almost 300. Yeah.
Otis is the key, man.
Dude,
he is the key.
Otis walks into the room and Yuga's there, and Otis takes off his mask and he goes, "My son," and the series just ends.
Or he takes it off and he just goes, "Oh, that's what I remember looking like when I was younger." And
I
it's
mean, there's so many great ways you could show that reveal.
You guys are
As Otis gets taken
enjoy those
into-
wings, man. I'm gonna really rub it in now.
As he gets taken into another dimension, Yuga, I am your father, and then gone forever.
They love their Star Wars references, so it wouldn't be the craziest thing.
But no, I'm a little concerned because jokingly, but also seriously, like Yuga still hasn't showed up. Go Hyuna still hasn't showed up.
Yuna will show.
We technically don't have a villain yet, even though I think we all think it's going to be Yugioh at this point. And even if it's not Yugioh, then who are we introducing with 4 episodes left? Or
Otis,
but we already
Zuo,
but are you bringing Otis back in to be the villain again after they just defeated him and sent him to jail?
Dude,
he could escape jail. He's good at that. He's done it before. But like, I think that would be crazy to introduce something with that little bit of time left. But then even with Yugioh being the villain, that turn is crazy. That he's still not really evil yet. But he's all of a sudden going to be evil with like 3 episodes left, and what are there going to be? 1 duel to take him down? So he's really not like evil for long. It's like he takes over, right? He took over this new place, right? He took over this new area. He's the leader of this group, right? It's Otis now. I mean, not Otis. It's Yugioh now. Everybody has to follow him, even though Zuo Jo's the one actually saying this. And then he's going to become evil, and then 1 duel against the twins is going to turn him back to normal.
So all this, and you're only a little worried.
No, I'm worrying myself as I talk.
No,
like,
but that's what I'm saying. Is yes. Like, no, but you just go, I'm a little worried, and then go on this massive rant where the whole time I'm going,
yeah, well,
you're only a little worried.
Hey,
like,
I'm not going to scream from the rooftop, but I might yell off a balcony about this. Like, I mean, it is a little stressful, I think.
We introduced a whole new time period in the last 13 episodes.
Yes,
of the
we
show.
are still in a different time period. Yeah, but Asaka's going to fix this. She's going to get us back.
She might. We're also introducing a new character with only 5 episodes remaining in the show, which has never been done before, according to Yugioh Everything.
That is dueled. No, I don't think so.
Oh, but and then well, that's
unless
good.
I'm wrong.
That's
and
good.
I've been wrong before, but
maybe that means there is 13
sounds pretty
more.
accurate.
Yeah,
but no, I don't think there is.
Listen, I am slightly. What happened?
Just go again.
You know who it is.
Real quick.
Just don't even say thank you. Just be like, oh
my
cool.
God, dude. JR. Okay. JR.
Okay.
No,
He said, I dare you not to say anything nice. That's what he said.
JR, come on, man.
JR, yeah, whatever.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the donation. $100 donation from JR. I can't not say thank you, man. Thank you. If we can get some attempts in chat, please put some attempts in chat. Thank you. Cal's got you. JR, thank you so much. You know what? JR, you're the man. I'm going to give my quick thoughts on these 6 episodes.
Oh, I didn't even do that
in
yet.
case.
Just talk.
Are you still
ignore
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, he was messing with you. You're good.
Well, I was just checking. Thank you so much, JR, and thank you for the attempts, everyone. I can't look at chat. I actually never look at chat because I get distracted too easily. But thank you so much, my man. In case you didn't watch my reviews, I thought most of these episodes were actually really good. I thought the last 2 were the 2 best, which is good because you want the arc to get better and better and better. So I was happy with that. But that being said, I think it's very understandable to be a little concerned, at least, about where the show is headed, assuming it's ending in March. Now, I was talking to a couple of different people over the last few days, and some of them were more concerned than others. I was having some conversations. One of them said, I'm actually not concerned at all. And I said, really? And they said, yeah, I'm very confident the show is going into the summer. So I'm not worried.
You don't need to name names.
I'm not going to name any names.
Who in their right mind was that confident?
Well, but I think that's what it is. I think there are people that are not worried. Sure, whatever you want to call
Denial,
it.
Coping.
Whatever you want to call it, that are not worried because they genuinely do think that we are going to have another.
I hope they're right.
And I hope they're right.
Yeah,
I hope they're right.
I don't think
But as for someone like me, and as for, I guess I can speak for all of you guys in this setting, we all think it's ending next month.
I want to be so wrong.
Yeah, I'm flipping a coin. So I'll
right. You're more on
the other. No, I'm not. It's really a 50-50 for me. So I guess you could argue I'm definitely, like, you guys are like 95-5. I'm 50-50, but I'll go on the other side of it just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, no.
I want the ending to be good. I want it to be done right.
I still think it can be, and I still think it will be.
See, that's where I am in full disagreement.
I think it will be good.
That's fair, and I hope so.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough time. I just don't, with so many plot points.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we start analyzing, you go, wait, they didn't answer this, they didn't answer this, they didn't answer this, they didn't answer this. They rushed it. We were in the patch for the last 12 episodes. That, I think, is going to hurt the ending.
I still think that we're going to get a satisfying conclusion to Otis. I do believe that. And I do believe that we are going to get a satisfying conclusion to Yugioh as well. I do believe that.
I'll give you Otis.
And I think if you hit on those two things, I'll be pretty satisfied, even if there are some unanswered questions, which there are going to be. And there have been, by the way. Listen, I've done top 10 unanswered questions for almost every Yu-Gi-Oh show. You can do it for any series, any franchise.
100%.
So there are going to be. It's just what level of those questions remain unanswered. Yeah. Now, I'm someone who is still very intrigued by Otis. So I
certainly am.
Right, but there's probably people that are tired of him. Yes.
I'm annoyed because you've made me watch all of this and gave me almost
Well,
nothing.
and it has to deliver.
Breadcrumbs.
It has to deliver, and I think it's going to deliver. And I think he is the key in the
You are
centrifuge.
way more confident than me, buddy.
Yeah.
I want your optimism really bad.
I feel good about it.
I'm struggling hard to have that.
I think they're going to do it. I think they only brought him back this late into the show in the way that they did, forcing our characters. Why did they go into the past? They went into the past to see Otis. I mean, that was the reason.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, but the most fascinating thing out of these 6 episodes to me, Otis using this new deck.
Oh, we're getting into this?
We're getting into it, but then we'll start at 140. He's using, but hold on. He's using the outer verse deck.
Especially the monster that kind of looks like that version of like Yugioh that he saw in the
right,
other
the
dimension.
painter, the famous Renaissance
He uses
painter.
the opposite of Yugioh's ace.
Galactic Oblivion.
Tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all that felt very purposeful.
He used cards from the worlds that Quaiduel showed him.
And Yugioh had a reaction to seeing that.
And Otis had zero reaction to ritual summoning. Yeah. Which he should never have seen before.
It was almost like more. He was a little bit intrigued that like, oh, you have it,
right?
You know, like it wasn't like, oh, I don't know what this is. It was more like, oh,
and
well, I didn't think you would have that.
And it reminded me of how we, say what you want about Otis, but I'm sorry, we all viewed Otis, and you can go back and Elaine has shown me these clips. We all viewed Otis early on in 7s, and even throughout 7s, really up until the end, where it was kind of a shame what they just didn't do anything with him. We all viewed him as this like larger than life, almost like deity-like being that can just be anywhere and is like this all-powerful like creature. I don't even know if I can call him a person.
I mean, and a person, he had a lot of government assets.
Well, and now he's using this deck which implies to me that he's aware that Quaiduel went to these worlds and used these cards to get under Yudio's skin.
Yeah, maybe.
If it just ends up being, and maybe it will be, if it just ends up being
man.
It was just a nice little reference.
That's
terrible.
Or it's a concept.
That's terrible.
Anybody could be Otis, man.
Well, I think that's squashed because this is the Otis from 7s.
You better hope.
I think that's squashed. But I don't know. Otis to me is the key to honestly putting this all together.
Yeah.
And I think he will be the final.
Makes me more nervous.
I think he will be the final villain.
And you can have a good ending without necessarily wrapping up every plot point, like you said, like. There's going to be unanswered questions, right? Like,
there will be.
Why does Kamuyamua's human form look exactly like the mystery girl? It's something we're never going to find out.
Similar.
Yeah. We were watching the last episode. He goes, wait, is that the mystery girl? And he goes, oh, wait, no, it's Kamuyamua. But, like, it looks exactly.
Also, how did she get revived?
Yeah.
They never
Asaka even brings it up. She goes, I still don't understand why you're back. Like it's just
there were some weird decisions.
It feels like we're getting to that Brains ending where it's like we're just dropping a bunch of shit and we're just doing it. It's like
what sticks.
Someone's dying off screen.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I think they can still nail an ending without necessarily answering every plot point. But I do kind of agree with you that it's getting to the point now where Otis has to be a focal point for the end.
I agree.
So, like,
I agree.
Because they brought him in, they had this huge, oh my God, it's actually Otis, blah, blah, blah. The thing that worries me is they just beat him in his first duel. Guy still can't win. And, like they still beat him, and then they send him to prison, which we all know in 7s, he breaks out of prison. So I'm sure in 2 or 3 episodes, he'll be out again. And that's
old-ass prison. You know, we're in the past.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's just... I don't know. It's very interesting because there is a way, right, for this to end really, really well. I just cannot figure out what that way is.
Can I ask you a genuine question, Dol?
Please.
Obviously, you're Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything.
Yeah, thank you.
In your opinion, without starting an entire war in the comments, what Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows before this have had an excellent ending? Because I'm just starting to rattle them off, and I'm like, oh, that was controversial. It wasn't great. Like, in your opinion, what ones had excellent endings?
Excellent endings to me. There were 3 Yu-Gi-Ohs that had excellent endings.
I have 2.
And it was Duel Monsters, 5Ds, and Zexal.
I don't know Zexal. So.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But 5Ds in DM.
And then I would say very good endings. I would say GX and Vrains. I would say Vrains. Ending, maybe not the final arc.
No, just talking about how the show wrapped itself.
Yes. And then the ones that had I thought the 7's ending is always weird to me.
I don't.
Good in some ways. Like, I thought the Yugioh Luke stuff at the end was very emotional and very good.
I actually even like the Otis Yugioh final duel.
I love the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I just felt there were still a lot of things about Otis that I wish we got that we could get in this show.
Yeah.
So the 7's ending is kind of in that like good range for me, and then the Arc 5 ending was underwhelming, to say the least. Yeah. But I think for the most part, like, I would argue Yu-Gi-Oh! Endings have been more good than bad. Yeah. I would say that.
Okay. For sure. It just feels like,
but
from
like
Arc 5 to how you feel maybe about Vrains.
I would argue
then 7's, it's like we're kind of on a little bit of a downward
I would
trajectory
argue,
here.
to your point, I would argue the last time we had like an excellent ending was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal.
Yeah.
That'd be 5Ds and Zexal. I thought both had excellent endings. Arc 5 was underwhelming. Vrains was, I thought, good to very good, and then 7's was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good-ish. Yeah.
But I would not say excellent.
Okay. I just thought that would be interesting. Just point to bring up.
So no, it's a very interesting point.
Been worried, man. Been worried. Been worried.
I get it. Well, you know what? Let's talk through the worries. That's what we're here for. Crazy Eights.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start with 140, and we're gonna just we're not gonna stay too long on these episodes. We're gonna just kind of talk one by one.
Anyway.
We're gonna bounce around, and then we'll talk kind of theories, questions. The big question: who do we think is gonna be the final villain? What's gonna happen? A lot of stuff to go over here. 140 arc opening: Rinkage versus Udius. I don't really have much to add. If anybody wants to jump in, I mean, I thought it was a good episode, but not anything crazy or special.
It was fine.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything.
The Udius ritual was cool to see again. I did not think he'd ritual so quickly.
Yeah,
after
the ritual was cool.
139 finale.
Don't feel like it happens often where you get to see a character deck out.
Well, that was in 141.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
But let's just go there.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. So, but 140 was fine.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fine episode.
Yeah.
It was whatever.
It did its job.
We kept moving the tiers of like, all right, now we meet him in the forest. Now we get to your lord. Now we get to his lord. So we have to keep moving up the levels, basically, which kind of felt like it was an old like reference to like old Japanese style samurai movies and kind of fighting movies and stuff like that. But it was fine. It just and I felt this way through all of the episodes. Udius kind of scares me now.
Yeah.
He's really like actually has a presence of being terrifying because he does have super strength. He does have eye beams. He is an alien. And this anger and kind of like lack of empathy is just, it's uncomfortable, especially knowing who he was. Yeah. And then, 141 was what it was.
I was very excited to see Gakugen, a character that we have known about, I think, since episode 3 of 7's, right? When Gakuto, or maybe it was episode 4, when Gakuto first dueled Yuga. Yeah. If it wasn't that early on, it was in that first season. So I was excited to see him. Boy, was I a fool for
that was great.
Being...
If you didn't watch the reaction of Dylan going at the end of 140, man, I'm really excited for this character. Bang, right into 141, and your face said it all.
Yeah, I said it in the review. That was one of the only episodes of a show where I browned out during it. And what I mean by that is I really couldn't recall what happened in the episode besides like the deck out moment and like Gakugen's play style, which was reminiscent of what Gakuto used in Lockdown, which I liked. Yeah. But the main delivery of the episode was just the only type of like humor I really hate.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Hate it.
Hate it.
So it was
I don't find it enjoyable at all.
It was tough. I mean, and I was like, I knew immediately this was not like the Udius baby one, and that one was bad.
I still think that one actually is worse for me.
Really?
Baby one,
well, that moment is terrible, but this one goes throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, I know. There's just something about that baby one that just really has stuck with me. It's really soured that episode.
It's disturbing.
With this one, like I felt, it's not, in my opinion, it's not a good episode. I don't enjoy this type of humor. I think for the last arc, presumably, of the show, this is a joke that we have something like this. I think, and I see there's some people in the comments that like this episode. Opinions are obviously
some
subjective,
people enjoy
right?
toilet jokes.
That's totally fine. I'm just speaking for me. I'm saying I hate that type of humor. I think it's a waste of time. And I understand some of the moments that they were going for, right? It's a whole thing of Manabu and his ancestor and trying to understand him. And, he's trying to become more lighthearted and his ancestor's trying to get a little bit more of a seriousness. But, I mean, they made jokes through the whole episode of, like, it's a black stain on the clan. Nobody remembers this dude because of how much of a joke he was. Like, okay, then why are we wasting our time doing this? That I just didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like there was if you're going to do those kind of jokes, have a more powerful message by the end of it.
Yep.
And I don't feel like we moved the needle that much with Manabu by the end.
No.
So then I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I can't even go back and forth with you in terms of dialogue for this because I'm being honest. I browned out.
Yeah.
I only remember 2 lines from that episode.
Yeah, I bet.
Do you want to see what my notes are from this episode?
Not really.
Just look.
Okay.
I just wrote farts.
I like how every episode you have 20 bullet points.
That was how I wrote mine. Yeah.
So
That's the problem.
I rewatched every episode today except for 141. I did not even want to
there
watch.
There wasn't anything else to take really from it. That's the thing. It's they didn't have any major plot points or character development. I felt it just was kind of just a big joke.
And it was also. I know you probably have something to say. I just heard you take that big deep breath. Get ready. But it also puts a damper on 140 because when you see him at the end of 140, you're like, oh, it's about to something this is cool. We're seeing the ancestor, and then it's like, hey, fart here, fart there, and it's like, never mind. We just.
I felt like we were in that place in SpongeBob Rock Bottom.
Yes,
where they all talked like that.
Next.
That's where I felt like we were doing that kind of version.
The only thing that I'll take from 141, the literal only thing is it connects all 6 episodes. The moon was mentioned or involved in it.
Yeah.
And every single episode, the moon was mentioned or involved. Starting 140.
I don't even remember the moon in 141.
It was very quick, but
I was
browned out.
He probably said something about a full moon and showed his butt or something like that.
I mean,
did you
realize that
did
was
you pre-write all these jokes?
You realize why? You realize that mask was on his butt.
Yes. No, I know.
That's why.
I don't know. What was going on.
I understand.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it a second time. So
what can you say? All right, we're moving on. We're not wasting any more time. 142, Princess of Beasts.
Good episode.
Epoch and Yuhi are back. I thought this was the first really solid episode, really good episode of the arc. Loved seeing Zuo Jo, Udius team up. Obviously, we see the Galactica, Oblivion, and Requiem fusion, which was beautiful.
Awesome.
We knew that monster was going to come at some point. Zuo Jo and Udius pick up the win. Udius does not ritual summon, which is good because he doesn't get, super
Also
angry.
doesn't keep constantly doing it to win, then it gets a little overdone.
Gets a little overdone. The scary thing, though, for me about this episode is what happened at the end of the episode where Zuo Jo had that moment.
Very fascinating.
After teaming up with Udius where he grabbed his chest and you see him and Requiem get flung back and then it looks like there's an explosion on a moon-like surface.
Yep.
So that is a big talking point that I want to get your guys' opinions on, but also just your general thoughts here on the first tag duel that Udius and Zuo Jo teamed up for, which is really cool.
I'll go quick.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good actually, and I thought I would say Udius probably had the best turn, but Epoch also had an awesome turn in that duel. I felt like, and I think you said this. We either talked about it or it was in your review. I don't remember which one, but her actually not cheating anymore, but she has a card that actually allows her to change the number on the dice, which is something. It's that growth where it's okay, I'm not cheating and rolling around in this box to force my way into something. I actually have a card for this, and it's not all just luck. There's actually now a skill involved in having the card and everything, and even Yuhi, unfortunate for him, he had the first turn.
Can we get this man pants?
Yeah, get some pants too. But I thought the episode itself was really good. I liked the team up, and like you said, the whole Zuo Jo thing was very interesting. Also, this is where you kind of see Udius really starting to get angry, where he's like, "You guys are my subordinates now," and kind of looks down on them. They're just the image of him standing over them, and he's like, "You guys are now my subordinates," or it's like, huh.
And they're just like,
All
damn,
right.
Yugioh
Yeah.
has changed.
Yeah.
Epoch says that straight
Yeah.
up. She's like, you've changed.
Yep.
Yeah, he has.
He went back at him. I like
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah. And that's her personality.
Yeah.
She's become one of my genuine favorite characters
Oh.
in
Welcome
the
to
show.
the train, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I've been there, bro.
she's
Y'all don't
she's-
like my epochs, my swirlies, bro. You got
Well,
So-
I
so-
can't
get on the swirly
poo,
one.
my guy.
So
Poo-poo's annoying as shit.
Epoch when she spoke in riddles, I could not understand what
I
she
was
was
with
saying.
you.
Well, yeah, that's
Hey,
a
I
little
just
too
couldn't-
highbrow. For
I
me.
just couldn't do it.
Nothing was as bad as Rovian's.
Well, no, Rovian's was like
Okay.
ineligible.
I
We're
was-
not starting
oh,
on
no.
that.
Intangible, but
We're not
Epoch
starting
spoke
on
in ways that I could not grasp. Like
No.
when she said, I am thirsty, she meant I am not thirsty. But then you don't know when she's actually doing that. It was just too much
You're
for me,
not.
man.
You're not a nuance guy.
No,
And-
I'm not a nuance.
And you know
I'm
what
not a
though?
nuance.
I'm gonna say something, and I this may be
Might get him canceled.
She doesn't do that anymore, so I
this
like her.
this may be controversial in my opinion, but I'll see what you guys think. I think Epoch's officially surpassed Tiger.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
okay, I
I've been
didn't
on
know.
that train for a long time.
I
I'm
didn't-
interested if people agree.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
if that would be a popular opinion or not, but I just feel like she's like done so
Way
much
more than
more, like
She's
so
also got more
much
screen
more.
time than Tiger, but that's understandable because she's a better character.
Yeah,
than
well,
Tiger.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the way she's just written, I feel like, and like her
Pretty
importance,
50-50.
her importance to the group,
Yeah.
like it's just very. I just think she's been better,
Yeah.
and I think this episode and the way she dueled, it helped me even more.
I like Tiger, but I didn't love Tiger. I mean, there were like 3 or 4 girls in sevens that I preferred to Tiger.
Oh yeah.
And there's probably like 6 or 7 girls in Go Rush that I prefer to Tiger. So
Yeah.
no, I'm in agreement.
Ron included, I'm sure.
Ron's not included, but that's
He's
that's
such a
okay.
hater, dude.
What?
It's crazy.
Why would Ron over
crazy-
Tiger? I
it's a
mean, let's
crazy
not get
hater.
crazy.
Chat
That's
Ron over
ridiculous.
Tiger.
Oh, you're gonna love one of the summaries. God.
Yes.
How did you feel about 142?
I actually really like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know me. I'm a huge Epoch fan. I really like since she's become kind of Captain Epoch. I thought her teaming up with Yugioh was very interesting because you have to remember this is a Yugioh that's not only dropped into the past but has no recollection of anything that has happened to him when he was Otis.
Last time he dueled, he sent her
Right
into the past.
So
Yeah.
I think it was a perfect thing for those two to actually kind of meet up, him to kind of apologize, get caught up, kind of get yelled at, but Slash, she took responsibility for even his actions, which it just shows again the maturity and the leadership that she has.
Yes.
I love that she goes back at Yugioh while still being definitely scared of him, and she didn't back down. Even
No.
when he was like, nah, we're doing this, she's like, nah, I'm protecting the animals. Like, this is not going to happen. And she loses, but the way she duels now, how she's progressed as a character, she's great, man.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Sure.
awesome.
Yep.
Dredge, anything else to add?
I mean, pretty much everyone hit the nail right on the head. It was a good episode. Great development for Epoch. You know, Yugioh again. We're starting. This is where we really start. I think is that turn from this character who, for the first 135 episodes, was the nice, gullible, saw only the good, never saw any bad, and then he has this conversation with Kawhi Duel, who just tells him like, "Dude, you're an idiot. Like, you're not aware of what's going
Here's
on,
the
man."
multiverse, and here's a ritual.
Yeah,
He's never been the same.
Like you need to wake up and like you got to take what you want, all this stuff, and since then it's changed him. And then that anger that comes out, especially when he ritual summons, it wasn't in this duel, but we mentioned that, right? The anger came out with the ritual. In this duel, there was no ritual, and he was still that angry, dumb,
snapped,
yeah,
no patience.
100%.
Yeah.
And is that someone controlling him? That's something we can get into. And as you mentioned, the other big point of this episode, Zuo Jo, quote unquote, seeing his own demise in a duel or on the moon or whatever it was is definitely interesting. I'm not sure what that's about. I mean, my guess is it is, Zuo Jo seeing himself lose, in a duel that he may have needed to win to, for the Bulgarians, for team against Yugioh's team 4. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I would hope that point gets cleared up for sure.
That is, definitely one of the talking points that I wanted to ask you guys. I thought that was a very scary foreboding for Zuo Jo.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it just because, like, I just don't know how I feel about Zuo Jo these days.
He's had a weird season.
And I went on the rant last time, and I'm not going to do that again.
Famous rant.
Keeps doing, I don't know if it's famous.
It is famous.
But keeps doing the something crap. And, like, he just has this tendency where I looked at this guy. He was obviously the military commander. He always went against the grain, did what he wanted to do, and now anybody seemingly climbing the ranks of leadership and power, he gravitates towards them. It's just a very weird thing. We'll talk more as the other episodes that we're going to cover. But even starting in this episode, I'm like, what is going on with this guy? I just don't understand where that character has gone.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll be like, hold up. Maybe Bridge is like, Pete, hold up here. We got 6 more episodes to cook. Just let it.
They do.
I hope that's the case. I'm just very confused by him, and now if you're going to make his demise a big plot point, okay, you got to give me some payoff leading up to that. It's just a really weird thing.
Well, you also have to remember he is a character we've already had, I think, a very impactful death scene for at the end of season 2.
I thought it was fantastic.
He's the one there to kill off screen, like Reigns.
Oh, God, like Spectre?
Yeah.
That is basically how they killed Spectre off in that final season.
Yeah.
Zuijo's flashback. Spectre went back, and that was it.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if at one moment Udius and Zuijo are together in that castle, and the next is like, yeah, Zuijo, he didn't make it on the moon. If that's what they do, I might not finish the show.
They won't. I mean, that's what Reigns did. We still, Zuijo's
Yeah, but
more than
Zuijo's so much
Spectre.
more
Yeah,
important
yeah,
than
yeah.
Spectre.
I
No
agree.
offense to Spectre fans,
I agree.
but just,
I agree.
Come on.
143, we get our 2-2v2 duels. We also get confirmation that Otai Usu is Otis from Seven.
Or as
Caliber calls him.
No,
Oh,
no, we're not. No.
Otai Usu.
Yeah, that was just a
Otis.
mistake.
Let me say this. Yeah, we're just calling him Otis. I'm not saying Otai
Yeah,
Usu.
that's the last time we're saying it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not.
Was it again?
Not saying Otai Usu. Otis is, I'm sorry, once again to me, one of the more interesting characters now for the remainder of the show. When we learned of Yuga's existence in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, I think it was around the 20s when it was pretty much definitely confirmed. I know we saw him for the first time in 39 when he or 38 when he tag dueled, with Udius taking the place of a collapsed Go Hyuna against the 2 Lugs. I said very adamantly on this podcast, we need to know what happened to Otis, and that Otis should also exist in this time period. Well, I was wrong about that, but I was not wrong that we would finally learn what happened to Otis after the hyperspace.
Yes.
I'm a little more confused, but keep going.
Yeah, no,
So-
we're gonna. Yeah, that you hadn't watched that episode. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So it was. It's right,
So
it was a headache.
he went
Yeah.
back into time a little deeper than Yuga did, which in the hyperspace, I feel like that makes
That's
sense.
very
fine.
easy.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That part's fine.
And I don't know how long he's been alive here, but obviously he's clearly aged a little bit, as you could tell by the beard.
Oh, yeah.
Man's alive forever.
And
Apparently.
he, he's done something that, and I almost was tearing up when I was watching. He's done something that Yuga did in present day of Go Rush. Hear me out. Which is use rush duels to end the war and the fighting. But yet, he, for some reason, gets this crazy bad rep. Now, I know why. Because he wants to send the people who lose duels to the moon. Which, yes, that is crazy. I don't necessarily agree with that. But at the end of the day, and he said something in 144 that I do agree with. At the end of the day, what he did was better for the time period than if he allowed the blood to continue to spill. I mean, you can't argue that. You can say maybe he went a little crazy with it.
No, I'm not even doing this.
But you can't argue
You
that.
can have this one.
He did the same thing that Yuga did in conceptual form.
We're not having this.
In conceptual form,
Yeah.
he did the same exact thing that Yuga did,
No.
using rush duels to
No.
end a war.
No.
There
was no war in Mutsaba Town.
No.
the Valkyrian War.
The Valkyrian War was
No, but that's-
Udius used rush duels to end the Valkyrian War and
Right.
bring
They're
peace. Otis, from Dylan's, I'm using Dylan's perspective here. From Dylan's
I'm talking
perspective,
conceptually. Yes,
Otis
conceptually.
used rush dueling to end the battling and the war that was happening.
That's
in,
it.
No, because that's not where
no.
it ends.
Well,
But
I'm not talking about
it is
beyond
very
that.
clearly explained in this episode that
dictator.
that he didn't use them in the same way because
Correct.
people don't understand each other there with rush duels. They become victorious and take over whatever they own.
Correct,
Basically.
and that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So he
That
used
part is
he
terrible.
used
You're
rush
saying
duels
that, like,
as
laughing.
conquest. Like he didn't use rush duels as a means to stop war and bring peace. He used it as conquest. Like he
Well,
was taking over.
I don't know if that was the initial goal of Otis.
So just
we don't
because
know.
hey,
I don't know if that was the
so
initial
it
goal.
wasn't his goal wasn't to take over everybody, but along the way he just decided, screw it.
And becomes
You're
like
all
a
gonna
dictator.
follow me now.
And becomes a dictator.
I am the
But
captain of your timeline.
At some point, can I say this? At some
No.
point, what he did is incorrect. I will say that. At some point, what he did is incorrect. But that being said, him and listen, I'm only speaking conceptually to the parallels that him and Yugioh have had throughout this entire Rush series. Right. They both went to different eras, and what did they do? They both managed to install rush duels, which let's give Otis some credit too, because we know Yugioh's a super genius. But for Otis to be able to do that, again, that's another check mark into the theory box of who the hell is this guy? That he's got the brain power to distribute and create rush duels in that time period with the tech that I don't know if Yugioh could have done that. The tech that existed back then. I mean, that's crazy, man. Conceptually, they did the same exact thing. It's just, at some point, Otis took it to a level that I would not agree with. So I'll say that.
You want to take this one?
I'll say that.
Go for it, man.
No, man.
love to know your thoughts.
I
Do you think Otis's rocket ship would work?
If he's smart enough to install rush duels in that time period, yes, I believe he can get to the moon.
it's oh my god.
Because I tend to agree with you, and I'm scared about that.
I would not want to be on the rocket ship.
No. I would be
that-
nervous, but
Why? If he's your Lord and Savior, trust him. Get
I
on
feel
the
like it could.
rocket.
I feel like it could take off. Like he's that crazy that it just might work.
But I want to know your guys' thoughts on 143.
on your BS rant
On
or
the
the actual
2v2v2?
episode?
No,
Well,
2v2v2v2?
is yeah.
The two 2v2s.
Yeah.
The
And
Dark Men are back.
Otis creates his own
just
rules.
doing a whole 180.
No, I'm not doing a 180 because we learn Otis's identity and what he did. And
Yeah.
Yugioh even said, "Wow."
Well, at first, Otis is like, "You did what I did," and then this episode is to show that that's not the case.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Also, did we have to have Phaser in that stupid dragon form?
Now
Dude,
that's what I was
I
looking for. I
cracked
wanted Nick
up.
T here so bad.
Oh
just
my
to ask
God,
him.
man.
Cracked up as soon as I
I
saw
saw
it.
how hysterical you were.
Oh my God! I can't
my
even
talk.
God.
Yeah, you
No.
can.
He sounds like a horse, dude. He's a
Horse
freaking dragon,
that he
dude.
is. I mean,
Yeah.
what a terrible
He's,
design.
Yeah,
Tremolo's ancestor is like, "Brother, they saved us," and he's like,
What are you doing, dude? What's going on here?
"I'd rather him look like a dopey dragon and talk than do that."
And this is the Yu-Gi-Oh, the franchise that has created so many cool dragon designs
Yeah.
over the years, and
think
that's
that-
what you're giving us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So the two of them dueled Sabuus and Bruya. Another thing that is not explained at all
Dark
is
Men
that
are there.
well, the Dark Men went to that time period, and I
get
guess
that.
you could explain that via the time machine.
Yeah.
The point I was going to make is Bruya has his memories and nobody else does.
Yeah.
I think they just randomly just threw a dart on the board and were like, "Yeah, we'll just pick him."
I do like that he doesn't say mom anymore. He's like mom.
Mother.
I'm like,
Well, that's
mother.
his
Yeah, that
development.
was-
He speaks
Mama!
that he has
That was
gained.
awful.
He has that wisdom now. So I took that as he has not only the past knowledge, but he's kind of leveled up a little bit. He's a little
Yeah, yeah.
smarter. He's evolved more. He's been around a bit. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, just another thing that's just not going to really probably be explained.
No, and I'm fine with
No,
that.
but I think the ones being in the future, like the Darkmen being alive in the future, also is like, all right. I mean, in the past, all right, fine. They got sent to a different timeline, so they ended up not being affected by what happened because technically they're before that happens, right?
Right.
They're in the past, so they're still alive.
I agree.
I know we're not there yet, but Kamuamua is just alive too. That doesn't.
Well,
make any
that will
sense to
not
me.
make sense.
Like we'll get there, but that to me with the Darkmen is the biggest mystery of it all.
It's like they brought her back to have a way for Yuamu to be projected
Yes.
so that
100%.
the duel
Yes.
would make
Yeah,
sense.
100%.
And that feels kind of lazy.
Yeah, the Darkman thing, there could have been a couple lines you could have kind of explained what happened. Yeah, I don't know.
No, but the ones in the past it's such an easy explanation.
Well,
you're in time before that
gets
happens.
a little tricky, Cal, with time travel and how that works. Because technically,
I understand.
it doesn't. Yeah,
But
those aren't the same things. Just because you go in the past means you're alive there. If you died in the present, it gets a little tricky.
Well, but the thing is, they weren't in the present when the deaths took place. Is what I mean.
Yeah, they kind of
So-
just were thrown.
so they were
into
thrown
the
into the
vacuum of
yes.
time.
So
True,
in
time
that
machine
case,
closed.
when all the other the dark matter empire was gone, they technically are so far in the past at that point in time that you can at least use that as a point and be like, okay, like I get it.
Oh, that's a good point, MD.
Like,
yeah, I forgot about that. In the chat, MD wrote, technically, the other dark men in their duels gained like a level of wisdom. He never did. Maybe they just gave it to him now.
Yeah,
That was his level of wisdom now.
but the other ones, I guess, in
You had to
gaining that,
knock it down to make this kind of thing with Yumu to be like emotional.
Now,
and-
no, I agree
yeah.
with that. But yeah, that can you guys explain to me and the lovely people watching or listening on the free Odyssey app, Apple Music,
No,
podcast,
you're
wherever
watching
you.
too much of the fan.
Can
He
you
listens to
explain
it
to
all
me how Yuumu's
I.
letter and dual disc got into the
but
future?
we're not even at that episode.
But
No,
but
we're not-
we're talking
no.
time travel.
Dude, it's not. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, because that doesn't make sense.
Just
to
so
me
you know,
either.
it's not. It's just, technically isn't possible.
in real life, obviously, would not be possible. I think in this logic, what had happened was, right? She went to the place where she knew
They
that they
were.
first uncovered in the present. In
Since she
their
left it
present.
there.
So she knew it would be untouched all of that time. She buried it there and figured in that excavation that Asuka was doing there, she would find it, then just read the notes, and that's it. It just, no one else she knew was going to uncover it.
But how is it that they had already went to that area? Right? We'd already technically found it, and when Yuumu sent back in time, and she writes these letters, and then they find how does that transition? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. How is it already there? Unless because she goes back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's where I was losing.
When regardless of the whole her projecting,
Yeah,
thing,
that-
throw that
the
out.
projecting
Throw
thing,
that out. Just
that's
stick with
crazy.
the letter.
Projecting thing is crazy.
itself.
Jeez.
It's like a Jumanji situation. You would
Yeah.
put something there, and then it will be dug up and uncovered later. It's just existed all the time. Now, obviously, real paper would never make it that far, but this is magical paper, and it just was there the entire time. We dig it up in the present. Boom, there's the letter, and we got what we need. I think it's just as simple as that.
Yes.
Yeah, time travel is tricky.
Correct.
Time travel is
So
tricky.
those letters theoretically have been there for, I don't know, let's say 500 years.
Okay,
They've
yeah.
been sitting there. However far.
I think
we
they were
went back.
laminated. That's why they lasted.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, no, actually,
May-
the real explanation is probably the dark men power, the dark matter power.
yeah,
of the ink.
maybe. Yeah, maybe they were
Yeah.
able to infuse it. Bruja was just like, here you go, mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mama.
Mother.
Mama.
We also see the Lug
Yes,
and
Rovian.
Rovian.
Yes.
They return, which is
Welcome
really cool. Welcome back.
They got a win, but they lost.
They got a win, but
war.
they
Okay,
lost.
that
the-
was some Duel Monsters.
that was
level
Duelist
shit.
Kingdom-esque
That was
crap.
bull.
That was the
Okay.
funniest thing. I'd leave it to Otis, whose name backwards, of course, is Seto, to enact something
You've been on that since
crazy like that.
One of sevens. Let it go.
How crazy is that, man?
Ridiculous.
What did you? So I mean, but this is like a big episode. Obviously, the Otis stuff is 144, which we're going to get into, which to me was the best episode of these 6. But how did you react to Otai Usu being confirmed to be Otis from Sevens? And obviously, he suffered great PTSD because of what happened, which is terrible, and enacting rush duels.
No.
What do you think?
Listen.
I didn't feel bad for him.
Did I like him getting an explanation?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And I think it's
Yeah.
an easy thing to explain that he lost the duel, so just think of it as he got blown back further, literally got blown back further in time.
Love that.
So that's kind of how I look at it there. The part, and I don't know if you're trolling or you're being dead
He's
serious.
trolling.
The part about feeling bad for this man is a clown show. So I'm going to end that right there.
I do
the
feel
man
bad for him.
tried
You're
to
out of
kill
your
children
damn
by
mind.
throwing a moon at them. So
You're cool.
we're going to stop that shit right there. I don't feel any sympathy for him
No.
whatsoever.
None.
And your whole thing where I had to go sit over there to just, chill.
What happened there?
Ridiculous. He clearly, and even the episodes have said, this man is a dictator. He is claimed
Yeah.
for power.
Yeah.
He is only, as Caliber said, he beat these people for conquest. That is all he did, and he's doing under the guise of Udius. Man, me and you are the same, bro. And like you're
Well-
doing this whole, it's like Yuga. Nothing like Yuga. The only thing is
Conceptually.
they introduced rush duels in an era it shouldn't have been.
Agreed.
But they did it for two entirely different reasons.
Agreed.
This man deserves no sympathy. He's a horrible person, alien, whatever the hell he is at this point, because it seems like he's been there for generations, they made the comment. So this man is just alive forever. He's a horrible, horrible person.
What
and
Pete said times infinity.
I hope Yugioh uses his I-beams on him.
What Pete said times infinity.
So I will say this about Otis. He is a god. He is a deity.
Is he though? Because
it is
I think
the only
his
thing
Earth
that makes
Damar
sense.
is
He's
the
not
god.
a god.
Right? So that's the confusing part right now. Now that Otis has been confirmed, the one from Sevens to be back, so he's still split off in his Earth Damar is the creator of Yugioh and all of these things,
the
but
Earth
then
Damar,
he also exists in this world.
His Earth Damar was that powerful because
that it's
he
its own
himself,
separate entity.
because he himself is also that powerful. That's my thought of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Whereas you get Dormammu, and sure, Dormammu is powerful as well to a degree. Dormammu ain't creating planets and galaxies and civilizations.
No, she's just reviving an entire race of aliens.
No,
Still pretty powerful.
Dormammu's powerful as well. I would
Where
say
is
that.
Dormammu?
Dormammu and Quaidul have been AFK.
That's concerning.
Sure.
Technically, they could be all contained within Yugioh.
Yeah.
True.
Technically.
No, they could be within Yugioh. But, yeah, no, I mean, Otis, we'll get into 144 now.
I did like
Obviously,
his new beard look. He
Loved
looks,
him.
I don't know if it's the clothing
Yeah.
or is he a little chunkier, a little thicker.
Yeah, he's put on a
a
few.
little bit thick.
He's enjoyed some
You know?
chunky monkey ice
He's been-
cream.
he's been
and
living
there's
that
nothing
Lord
wrong with
life.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Also, Dylan, I feel like before we jump into the actual episode, I feel like your opinion or your statement of trying to say that what they were doing is like similar between like Yugioh and Otis in terms of rush duels. It's like it would be like one of those memes on Twitter where it has like the picture of the two people and the check boxes below them, and it's like brought rush duels to a new time. Check. Stopped a war. Check. Like they're the same.
Can somebody,
Crazy.
can somebody please make that meme a picture of Otis and a picture of Yugioh? Brought rush duels to a new time. Check.
Someone
Stop
will.
the war.
Check.
Check. That is
Like,
actually a great
right?
idea.
No, it's great.
The only reason I bring that up, and obviously I'm only speaking from a conceptual
Travel through time.
perspective.
Check.
Right, went back in the past. I only
Is the
speaking
same
from
person.
a conceptual perspective. Maybe
Question
is
mark.
I wanted to highlight in the rant that I did the parallels that exist, the undeniable.
Between him and Yugioh?
No, between him and Yugioh.
I think there's more in this moment between him and Yugioh.
really.
Well,
Yeah.
even Yugioh is the one that says he's just like me. He ended a war with rush duels, and then
True.
the episode then explains that he was using it to gain power, not to understand his opponents and come to a peaceful term.
I think that explains how far gone Yugioh is at this point.
oh
that
yeah,
just the empathy is so gone.
immediately says,
that
"Oh yeah,
he
we'll be your
doesn't
vessel."
See, like this guy, dude, is subjugated all these people. He's
Sees
not
it
a
by
good,
the end of the episode.
Yeah, but like he's not a good person. And to make that little connection to him where we're like, I totally get it, man. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and everybody's shocked. They're like, what is going on here? I mean, as we went on, characters more and more in this batch of episodes was like, oh, this ain't the same Yugioh. Like, this guy is changed.
Well, let's move to 144. How about Yugioh walks in, challenges him to a duel. Otis goes, if I win, all of you guys are going to the moon.
He's like, no worries.
And he goes, sounds good.
This sounds good.
And,
Yeah.
and the crew's like, oh, excuse me?
Yeah.
What did you say?
He's in charge.
So he's
What did he say?
He's lost that empathetic.
He's lost it.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
And now we got to talk, of course, about the duel between Yugioh and Otis, and that episode, to me, the strongest episode of the 6.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to see Otis for over 100 episodes now, back in the forefront. And I will say this: you can say what you want about Otis. You can feel no sympathy for him. You don't have to feel bad for him. That's fine. I get it. He's done some messed up things. That said, he's got the coolest decks in all of Rush Yu-Gi-Oh! Whether it was Nostalgia Bait with Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, Summon Skull, or whether it was the Darkness Seven's Road cards,
He's gotta bring the
which,
fans in
which
somehow.
mimicked Yuga's deck. Now he's got these Outerverse monsters, which mimics what Yugioh saw and went through in order to learn ritual summoning. Dude, his decks are always so freaking cool, and I genuinely think it's so fun to watch, even though he's
It's awesome. I
predictable.
love
Even
watching
if he-
a character just lose.
Yeah,
Every
lose
time
all
they
the
do
time.
it.
He
Well,
never
did you
wins.
like Mimi?
Which is awesome. Not
I
really,
didn't like Mimi or Manya.
And also,
I don't like the
Mimi
Itachis.
isn't the
I don't like Manya,
Mimi
no.
is
The
not the
Itachi
main,
curse.
I like Mimi.
quote unquote villain of 2 consecutive shows now. And at the end, give Mimi Itachi some credit. Let Goha. I don't think Otis is going to end the show having a position of power or leadership like that.
I don't know.
Put some respect on Mimi's name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. That man's going to be launched into the cold vacuum of space.
I feel very good that Otis will get a win before this show is over.
Yeah, I feel great with 6 episodes.
Very good.
You know what's bad is he's right.
I feel very
He's
good.
right
I don't.
I'm just assuming the summaries have something
Yes,
to
it's
say.
the
that
summaries.
He's
It's
doing
I've
someone
watched
so
this-
meaningless
Yeah, he has
that he's going to get the
very
win.
meaningless.
cheating knowledge.
So meaningless,
Yeah,
dude.
cheating
It's
knowledge.
bad.
How meaningless?
It's
Very meaningless.
It's the most meaningless duel the whole entire show.
Yeah, you'll agree.
What is it, like a Chupataro ancestor?
No, even more meaningless.
Oh, God.
That's a personal dig at him. That's a personal dig at
It's
Gal,
the
bro.
Ron episode, yeah.
It's really
I could just tell from your face that's a personal dig.
it's really bad.
I tried to like hope and pray that it was like the Chupataro thing would have gotten a laugh. He's like, no, even worse.
It's
It's like, yeah.
it's terrible. I watched his video earlier today about the summaries, and I go, you've got to be kidding
I'm actually
me.
looking forward to it.
No, you're not.
I am. No, I am.
Why?
Because I think, as I said at the beginning of this episode, I think he's like the key to tying in and making a conclusive ending.
At this point, we have to be all in on every episode. There's probably 6 to go.
Yeah.
We got to be all in on every episode.
Agreed.
And I won't lie to you, these two are not all in it.
Wait, hear me out though. Hear me out. If Otis obviously is coming to jail and going back, right? He'll be back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Yugioh's full turn is like him and Otis are a tag team and the twins have to take them down to end the show?
It'd be fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be certainly interesting.
Because
but
if-
Yugioh seems against Otis, to be fair.
Right now,
Yeah.
He
he-
Jinx Yomiko.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
He was already like sympathizing with him almost to the fact that he was relating to him, right? And then he realizes, okay, maybe he's not that good of a guy. But then if Yugioh just starts going crazier and crazier, I mean, Otis whips out a ritual summon, and all of a sudden the both of them are just like interconnected. Boom.
What if
There you go.
what if the ritual and the usage of the ritual continues to corrupt Yugioh and has been corrupting Yugioh, and that somehow lets Kwaidul start taking over
I would not
his
be
mind, and Kwaidul's goal is to assist Otis any way he can because he views Otis the same way he views the creator as like his father, basically.
So then, like, Yugioh will be a damsel in distress for the finale, in theory. Like, he'll be under the control of Kwaidul.
Yeah, he'll be a mind control.
we saw it in Arc 5.
I didn't know
I mean,
that.
what a great ending that was. Great
Where
ending
the
to that
main
show.
character was the final threat. Yeah.
Well, 4 of them technically.
Yeah. Technically.
Okay.
I don't know what I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know, but I think Otis is gonna be a big player.
He better be.
in
How
this.
pissed will you be on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
And I feel like I already know the answer. He gets arrested. Just never see him again.
10. That would have been terrible. Why do you even bring it back?
That's it.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
Because I have a feeling I could totally see the show doing that.
Yeah.
You really could.
No, it would have been terrible. But I mean, Otis, Yugioh obviously ritual summons. He wins. He takes over the land. Zuo just declares it for him.
Yeah.
What did you guys make of this episode 144?
I think the Zuo Jo piece of it is very interesting. And what's kind of, like, pissing me off a little bit with Zuo Jo as a character, he got revived, right? And he didn't want to be back. He did
Hates
not
life.
he did not want
You
a
wanna
second
be
life.
dead.
He did not want
You want to
this.
be dead.
But he has come into this second life and just been a freaking, like, lost puppy dog to whoever tells him where to go. And now, like, Yugioh wins, and he's like, yes, Yugioh is your savior now. You listen to him. He is your leader. It's like, dude, like, hop off.
I
Like,
know.
be your own person.
What's going on with this guy?
With when she was the Darkmeister, he was whatever you want, like as you wish. Then Yugi as Otis, he just kind of let him do whatever the hell he wanted. To me,
something, man.
yeah, like he was like relating to him in that way, and I'm like, and now he's just like, yeah, Yugioh is going crazy, and he's like, yep, Yugioh owns you now. Like this is his land, and Yugioh is just staring off into space, like, yeah, I won that. Like, no, not a, it doesn't even look like a thought's going through his brain.
Yugioh said one line in 144 and 145 after he won, just one line.
Yeah.
And it was like about Matsuba Tower being built.
Yep.
In the beginning of 45. So, yeah, he's talking less and less, which is not a good sign.
No.
It does feel like he is changing every time he ritual summons. But, yeah, Zuo Jo has just had a weird arc.
No, Randall said it perfectly. He's a bandwagon guy now.
Well, no. I mean,
Whoever's taking charge,
Whoever
he's
has power.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
right in
Joins
there.
them.
Yeah. He's
I just thought this one was more fascinating than the last two.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he stepped to the forefront and kind of Yugioh doesn't really care.
Right.
Yeah.
He's taken, like, part of me is holding out hope that there is some type of end game for Zuo Jo. That he has been planning something.
I wish, but I don't
because
think
that's
so.
why they
There's
keep
no way.
saying something, right?
No.
Maybe there is.
He's still looking for his
there's
something.
yeah, he's looking for that. And I don't know, does he usurp kind of the leadership here of Yugioh in the end? I don't know. It feels like he was in the last two episodes was overly aggressive of taking control of the situation, of kind of commanding these people and having a dominance over them. Why?
Well, he was the leader, right? Pre all of this show. He was the leader in the war, right? He was
the commander.
He was Yugioh's commander. And now he's like taking this back seat for a very long time. And now that they're back in a, I don't want to say war-like scenario, but they're taking over, right?
Yeah.
Conquest, similar to war, if you want to say it that way. He's trying to step back into that leadership role now because he's like, this is what I was meant to do. I'm a leader. But it also feels like he's just like, all right, maybe this is like what Yugioh is meant to do, so I'm just going to stand by whatever he's doing and just let everybody know who the boss is. Like, I don't see, unless Zuo Jo is going to talk Yugioh back down to earth.
I don't think so. I think he likes this. Because, like, their original thing back then was Yugioh was like, we can't end the war on Velgear in some kind of hostility way. And Zuo Jo was all about
Well, he wanted to
Rustul's
just,
Earth Damar for the power. Let's eliminate the enemy.
Yep.
Maybe that's just, we've kind of forgotten. Maybe that's just at his core.
He's just trying to get back to that.
And now he's trying to get back to that. And he's made a couple comments in these last few episodes with Yugioh where, like, he seems proud of him.
Yeah.
He seems like he likes that he's decisive, that he has no empathy,
Yeah.
which is exactly what you
was
could
like.
argue Zuo Jo is.
Yep.
Yeah.
He seems to like that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Zuo Jo has some sort of plan or anything. I
just want something out of this character, man.
I do too. I mean, through the first two seasons, he was definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
He's still, of course, a top 10 character in this show for me, but he's not. I would not put him number one anymore. He had a tough season. He's still cool, but yeah, he's had a really weird season, I think. But anybody else have any thoughts on 144, Otis's deck? The Outerverse monsters resembling. I mean,
I just worry you're doing that as like a little just tidbit for the multiverse, which we learned about it, few 10 episodes ago, 15 episodes ago. I wonder if you like how are you going to bring that into everything else?
Yeah.
Like, even though it was just like remember that those worlds we showed you here? Here's a deck with it. Like how where are you going to put it?
But that would be so. I would hate that if that was just
I agree.
an ode.
It would be really cool.
But you said it best. I don't mean to cut you off, but Dill said it best. You said they're not going to clear up every plot point. You're the one that said that, right?
The Otis stuff, though, I and Yugioh, I think they will.
But that's the Outerverse stuff is not that.
But it's in his hands, so they can easily just connect him to the creator and say that the creator is the one that made all of these multiverses, and that's how he has these cards. Because
that's fine.
It at least has a connection to Otis in that way.
But that's like the quick, easy way to do it. Whereas you're not actually learning about those Outerverses. Why would you even tease?
Oh, you're not going to.
That's my point.
You're not going to get that in depth. You're not going to get that in depth.
You're not going to learn about the worlds, but I do think that like you need to. I just hope the question gets answered as to why he has those cards
or why
that
does
resemble
he mimic his opponents,
or that right. Yeah,
I mean the one card literally is Yugioh in a different dimension.
Like
that's
how
what it
does
looks
like him having those cards implies. If it's not for an ode, and that might be the route they go, which I would hate.
He's aware of the multiverse.
Yeah,
he's aware of the multiverse, and he's aware of the specific ones that Yugioh saw.
Because he's the creator.
Well, then, yeah. So, like, he's a god.
Or
so
it
that
is
needs
him
to.
and Kwai-Duel are working together. And that the Kwai-Duel kind of gave him that info, and he's like, here you go, bro.
Or
I just feel
Kwai-Duel
like
gave
it
him the
needs to
cards.
lead to something. Whatever the answer is, it needs to lead to something.
Oh, I hope it does.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
I think it would be shocking if it didn't.
Agreed.
Shockingly disappointing.
Yeah.
Last one.
145, Asaka versus Yuumu. This is the last one that we saw.
Something.
No. You mean Quietel versus?
Well, technically, I mean, it's Yuumu.
It is a rematch. The two of them have dueled previously.
And then it's Quietel in a very realistic Yuumu cosplay that he had laying around.
So
what did you think of it?
honestly, the episode itself was okay. The message between like how Yuumu and Asaka trust each other and kind of like that friendship is still alive and well, even though Asaka thought that she was just kind of left there and they didn't like, like they all left her. She was by herself, but Yuumu knows she needs her help. And that whole kind of friendship bonding moment where she literally says like, that's the Asaka that I love, like you being the person that you are, that's who I love. I think it's a very touching moment while also being a moment of so many questions, as we said before, resulting with the papers and how they would even be there, or how come Yuumu is back and she's projecting Yuumu out of these papers so that, and it's not just like in her head, both of them see her. Like it's not like Quaitel doesn't see her. He's looking at her and she's talking like it's a projection. Quaitel again having a Yuumu cosplay just ready to go. And like, I thought it was actually kind of fascinating that Yuumu is like predicting every move that Asaka makes. Like, I thought that was really cool, as well as it's probably pretty easy to write because you're just writing the duel twice if you think about it.
To her
season one,
where she actually, where she was ahead of everybody else.
Yep.
So like, it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't a great episode, but I do like the message in the episode. It didn't necessarily crush like moving the plot that much, I don't think, but it kind of gives you the Asaka that we might not see much more of until, I guess, the time machine at the end is the big plot point.
Well, that's the thing. And I think there was also a line at the end. It was actually the very last line of this episode that I thought was massive in terms of importance. And I mean, I will put that line up right now, where Asaka says to Quaitel, so you're saying they were brought together in the same time period by a force that sought to undo the changes of time. This force is obviously going to be someone that could be our final threat.
Or that could mean Otis.
Right.
Could be Yugioh.
There's a few people it could be. Right. Otis, Yugioh.
The
could
creator.
be Yuna.
Could be Quaitel.
Could be Quaitel.
The creator.
Even though, I mean,
if that's a different person from...
Yeah,
I guess they technically are.
Yeah.
I think the creator, honestly, is gone. I don't think we'll ever see the creator
again. They did their job, and they were like, I see.
They were thinking Quaitel. I think Quaitel absorbed them.
Yeah.
I think, but that, to me, is such a big line because it gives us a hint as to what maybe the motivation is for the final villain.
Yeah.
To undo the power. And by the way, to me, that fits Yugioh. It could fit Yuna if she went into the future and realized, shoot, there's no happy reality for me in Yugioh. You know what? I want to create a time where I don't even remember him. And now she's trying to undo everything because she's crazy.
Yeah.
So she's crazy enough to try to do something like that. There's a lot of characters that could be. But that, to me, huge line at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
Dredge, your thoughts, not only on the line, but on the episode in general.
I mean, it's just, it leaves a lot up to interpretation. These next couple episodes is who has the most to gain from undoing the past. That's who's going to come down. That's going to be your final villain. Whoever thinks that it's going to benefit them the most, I think that's, and then your Yuna theory is good. I would hate if it's Yugioh. I just wouldn't like that. You're going to make your protagonist of 7 your main villain of your 8th show. Your final villain.
I would absolutely hate that.
I would be awful. Now, again, could they do it? Yeah. Could they write it well? Yes. Will I still hate it? Yes. So it doesn't matter. They can do an amazing
That's
job.
Fair.
With it.
I wouldn't hate it. I would be intrigued by it. But
that's your opinion.
Yeah.
I think that. What if that'd be like, for example, right? You say is the villain ends up being the villain of Reigns. How would you felt? Final villain.
If the motivation makes sense, I would be open to it.
Really?
Yeah. I think if the motivation makes sense, I think it would be fine. I do understand at the same time the concerns with a different writing team writing the conclusion to a protagonist that they did not have any ability in. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this would be kind of the same case as like 5Ds to Vrains because I believe this is the same main writer and director.
So then Judai is the final villain of 5Ds then.
Yeah, again, different writers, GX and 5Ds, but I get what you're saying.
What shows have the same writers?
The same writers, Zexel and Vrains, Yoshida.
Okay,
Yoshida.
so then
Yuma being the final villain of Vrains.
There you go.
It would certainly be weird, But again, I'm not saying I would enjoy it, even if Yugioh was the final villain of the show.
Bring it on.
But I'm open to it. Gotta find my Katabingu. Yeah, it'd be weird. But I'm I'm definitely open to it if it makes sense. And Yugioh being the villain here might not be he's evil. He just needs to do something that would screw with a lot of our characters, but would save his world. And if it saves his world and his reality, it's not really Yugioh's motivation. I don't think it's Yugioh. I don't think it's.
No, I agree with you, but that's my point though. Like, see how you're trying to find a way. Like, it would take what Yugioh's like kind of what they're doing. Yugioh, right? Yugioh is this such good, lighthearted character, and all of a sudden he's going full. I hate everyone. I'm a bad. Like it just. I understand it when it happens throughout a show where protagonists go on this journey and maybe they find themselves and they better themselves. But in this moment where we are with 6 episodes left in the show, to have Yugioh be the bad guy or have this crazy, oh no, I need to undo the past because of what I did, I don't know that it would work. And that's kind of where I'm worried about it like that. And I just don't think.
Yugioh was also shown in this show to be willing to stay in this time period and give up his future.
Agreed.
So that's why it wouldn't make sense for Yugioh. But, if a previous protag was going to be the villain, as long as it made sense, I'd be open to it. I wouldn't automatically hate it. But I get what you're saying.
So I agree with what you're saying is it would need to make sense. I just don't think it would be possible for it to make sense. Especially if I know the character. Especially if you know the character as well. Like, especially a main protagonist, right? It was like what's his name from freaking 5's? He was the villain of the movie from 5's.
Paradox.
Yeah, bringing a character from another and making him the villain of something else like that. I get that. Like he was never really a good guy. Obviously, he had his motives, right? He wanted to. At the time, they were trying to save the future, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then you meet the protagonist, and they team up to fight him, blah, blah. But I just don't know that with a protagonist specifically would work. But again, we'll see.
Who do you think it's about?
Who do I think that line is specifically about? I mean, it makes the most sense that it would be like a Kawaii Duel creator-like character. I don't know who it is exactly, but that makes the most sense to me. Someone who, I guess, has the most skin in the game to a standpoint of like they need to change something so that it goes the way they want to.
Yeah.
It could also just be Otis, and that's why they went to where he was.
Yeah, of course.
Like, and he was able to manipulate them there.
It could be.
I'm just so over the Otis character. We're at how many episodes now? 240?
Yeah, about
240 episodes of this character.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy in 7's. We didn't, now he's the bad guy of Go Rush.
Wouldn't it make sense, though, like that he wants to change?
He's the ultimate manipulator. He manipulated a lot of things in 7.
And he gets the title of main villain of one show and final villain of the second show.
He's good.
You don't like watching.
He
237
wasn't good the first time, bro. We didn't finish his story.
I mean, that's what I love.
Well, you got to let him finish his story, dude. I think.
got to finish his story.
I think no, like because I think that it would make sense if he was the one that was manipulating it, right, to get them to go there, and he wants to change. If he wants to be if he wants things to change, right, so that the future goes back to normal, he's the furthest in the past to make that happen.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So he has to get to a point where rush duels aren't brought into that time. So he's got to figure out a way to get them out of the equation, and then he could just destroy rush duels, and they're gone. They're not coming to the other place because they're not there anymore.
And then that's why there's no Yu-Gi-Oh! 9.
That's why there's no Yu-Gi-Oh! 9.
By the way, Otis,
the end of rush duel.
If Otis pulled them back, kept Asaka there on purpose, because she also said, I was purposely left behind.
Yeah.
He did that because he knew Asaka would be the one that's smart enough to restart the time machine. And it's like, oh, great, that can link the same guy.
Yeah.
That would allow him to get to the Go Rush.
Idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's got to be Otis.
So we're going to get Otis to Go Rush with 2 episodes left, and then what?
No, they're gonna go past the Go Rush timeline. They're gonna go to the 7's timeline to finish the show.
And then you're going to get a black screen dread.
So bad,
You're going to get
As
no
they come down to the sky.
You're going to get no conclusion to anything that happens. It ends on a huge cliffhanger, goes to black. Yugioh 9 will return March 2026. And then you're going to wait a year.
You would see.
Standing
I'd
ovation.
tear up.
Standing ovation.
I would tear up.
You would tear up if
Yes.
Otis still wasn't answered.
Yes.
Through 2 shows.
I don't care
A
if
third show is more important than him
Okay,
not being
so
answered.
here's the
yes.
problem.
What would you prefer? Otis gets answered
No,
or
no, no.
Yu-Gi-Oh! 9?
For-
No, I get it.
No. I
Yeah.
disagree.
I get it. Just
No,
because
I
he
would
needs
watch
the
a-
content.
Yeah, dude.
dude.
I would
And
watch a-
I love
wanna
the
wa-
franchise.
I want to watch good Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'd watch 150 episodes of Otis if it meant another show.
No,
Or if it meant another show.
I would.
wrong for that.
Why not?
I'm actually intrigued to a degree by Otis'
No, I
character.
understand being intrigued by his character.
Me too. We
But-
just don't love him
But
like
saying
you
you want 150 episodes more of him not being
Well, I didn't
answered
say
is
that.
egregious.
I'd rather that than 0.
I'd rather 0 because
You'd
that's
rather no
egregious.
Yu-Gi-Oh ever
Yes.
again.
Yes. Yes.
See, I can't take that.
I can't either.
Because that's awful writing. That's just awful.
He did the laugh. It was
Yeah,
just
the
a little older.
Yeah.
No, listen. Again, we can talk black screen at the end of Go Rush, but who knows if
Can
that'll
I
happen.
just make the comment of like, I thought it was pretty impressive. This man, like, it was a couple episodes before this, but this man just made a card out of mortar. Like, he was just,
What card was
he
that?
was just like, here you go, bro. I'm like, yo,
I
like,
think
how
that
is
was-
this man doing this
I think that
right
was
now?
the Oblivion.
We had to make a whole elaborate machine in the present in Go
Yep.
Rush, and this man's just doing this shit.
But he does these things, man, and it happened in Sevens too, where you're like, he's got to be not human. He's got to be like a god.
I mean, it's when they said this has been going on for generations. I'm like, oh, so this guy definitely is not human. Like
No,
this
yeah.
guy's, even though he's aging, he's not
Yeah.
aging at normal human speed.
No, but that was always why I thought the theory of Udius potentially being Otis made sense
I
because
agreed.
Udius doesn't age.
I mean, I guess it
Like,
could,
that
you
was
could
one of the
sort
things-
work as he gets angrier and then it's
yeah,
himself.
no,
or
but like
something. I don't know.
I'm not saying that right now I would believe that, but I'm saying back when we were all guessing, like maybe one of them is going to become Otis. I was like, it made sense because Udius is still like Quaidul had said, he was a blank slate, right? He was so gullible to everything. He didn't understand, and everything he just absorbed and took as it was, and always saw this positive light. If he had taken it in a different way and seen everything in a negative way, he could have been a really, really bad person.
There was also a line
Like-
that Otis said to Udius that reminded me of one of his like coldest lines that he said in Sevens. When,
First of all,
to go high,
using that is like he had like 2 maybe.
I can't wait for the
lines.
short to come out. Otis's coldest lines in Russia.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming.
go high Yuga. Remember? Oh, I understand that. Painfully so.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
And
never-
he had a similar thing to like
Udius.
understanding the struggle, and then
Yeah.
Udius
I
was like, "Bro,
understand it.
you done yapping?"
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great. That was
Yeah.
great.
But like again,
yapping?
yeah, he's just so fascinating to me, man.
I
You know
think-
why he likes him so much? It remintes him of him.
Yeah,
That's why.
Because you're the ultimate. Well,
That's
you're
exactly
the
what
ultimate
it
troll
is.
artist.
the negativity
What-
that they talk about him, and then they're like, "Yeah, you're just like Otis."
Yeah.
You're a troll,
Literally.
artist, and that's
What's
really
he
what it
talking
is.
Literally.
about? What's this guy
Literally.
talking
He
about?
basically just called you
I
like
think-
useless. He doesn't want to see you
I
ever
think
again after Yu-Gi-Oh!
you
8's over.
Are fascinated by him. I think you're fascinated
Oh,
by him because
shit.
you need this. We all need this. We need this character to end up being good and just have some kind of explanation. But I don't even think you truly believe that this is a good character. This has been a.
I think it has the
up until-
potential.
Exactly. Up
That's
until
fine.
this point, this character has been poor.
Agreed.
They've
Yeah.
been poor.
Well, Pete, I'm going to make a sports reference here. When you've been around, when a player has been in the league for so many years and they're still talking about his potential, what does that mean?
Well, they're never going to reach it.
There it is.
Yeah.
They're not as good as we thought they were. You know?
Kinda what we're
Yeah.
talking
It's like
about
when
Otis.
you have a football player, they're like former first round pick.
Yeah.
You know that means that they're not an all-star anymore. They just were that was the best
Yeah.
thing they did in their
He's just-
career was they
he's
were a
cooked,
first round
man.
pick.
He's probably
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah.
He's on one last hurrah. He's on his 5th team. He's just really trying to make a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but you know what? He could pull the Sam Darnold and play really well for the end of this one.
Who knows?
Okay, before we get to any donations,
Also, he didn't use that card, right? That he made. I don't think he used that.
it was not specifically shown. I assumed it was Oblivion, but it's not shown.
I don't actually think he used the card.
He may not have.
It could have
Is
been a
that his
ritual
ritual
summon.
card?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Could have been a ritual.
Maybe that's the
I
way he
love that
does get his
idea.
first win.
Then
He's
he-
just like, oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna clap this guy.
'Cause he
I've already
saw it
done
happen,
He's like,
yeah.
psych ritual.
He's gonna ritual summon against
does
Ron
copy
and then-
everybody, right?
So freaking cool, dude.
Yeah.
If he does, no, I really think it would be. Who is the final villain of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush?
Otis.
Treasure,
Otis.
Calibro.
I genuinely think there is going to be some sort of partnership between Otis and Udius / Quaidul.
Wow. Okay.
Like I think
see it.
All three.
no, like because I still think Udius Quaidul can be one, right? Like they can be so like
Yeah.
there might be Quaidul interference, but it's going. I think that Yugioh and Otis may end up in a pairing, even if it's just for like one duel, because of how insane Yugioh gets, that Otis is able to just somehow manipulate him into being on his side.
I'm going Otis as well.
Yeah.
It's got to be, man.
Yeah, I think it
has to involve Otis. It
Unfortunately,
has to
but
involve
yes.
Otis.
Do we want to do and by the way, thank you guys all for watching. Donation super chats, or do we want to do the 2 episode summaries and then go into
Let's do the
donations?
summaries and then go into donations. And
Yeah.
I only say that because Dredge is here till 10. Let's get his thoughts on the summaries and everything.
I think that's
first.
a great idea.
Yeah.
So as always, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for being here.
Also, spoilers if you haven't seen the summaries.
Yes, we are going to be
haven't done that in
doing
a while.
146 and 147. So we're going to show them right now, and then we are going to go over our thoughts quickly. Raise your hand if you know these summaries.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so 2 and 2.
I think
Beautiful.
did you read these on your watch along stream?
Yeah.
Because I think I heard I faintly heard you talking about it, but it was like I was just listening at that point. Of
course.
So I don't really fully remember them.
Okay. Calibra, would you like to read episode 146? This is the one, ladies and gentlemen, we got a preview of.
Sure. Episode 146, The Monk Who Can't Wait Until Tomorrow. Rumor has it that a giant 8-foot-tall yokai is terrorizing children in the nearby village. Yugioh and co. head to the beach in order to search for the yokai. There, they encounter the 8-foot-tall lady, Oka Sir Furko. Furko, who detests samurai, mistakes Yugioh for a samurai, so she challenges him to a duel.
All right, so Yugioh is getting, and boys, this is...
Send off duel.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
It's his send-off 1v1 duel. I do think that he will take part in the final duel. I do believe he's going to. I've thought for a while that the finale duel is going to be like a 3v1. I thought originally maybe against Kwai Duel. Now I'm leaning more towards Otis. But I could also see Yugioh maybe joining somehow Otis's side, and Yugioh and Yuumu are the ones that have to play hero. I would not like that, but I could go down that road. So I think Yugioh will get another duel, but I think this is Yuhi's final 1v1 duel. From that perspective, I think it's a little underwhelming.
If it's his final 1v1 duel, it is definitely underwhelming. But if it's not his final, as we're saying, we don't think it'll be his final duel overall, which is fine. And I do think that having kind of the twin protagonists, even though they have kind of 3 protagonists, having the 2 of them's last duel be together, I think is just as meaningful as a solo. Only in that case, because they're brother-sister.
Yeah. Pete, we have 6 episodes left. We have 5 after this one.
Bad.
Doesn't it feel like Duelist of the Week?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unless they
Right?
drop
Yeah.
some insane plot points in this episode, seems like, as I predicted, another waste of time episode. Which
That's what I said.
You were like,
Yeah.
no, man, 13 episodes. I was like, I promise
really
you there
didn't have
will
time.
at least be 2 garbage.
Still don't
episodes.
have
Still
time.
don't have time.
So yeah, so if it ends up just being a kind of a villain of the week, duelist of the week episode, wow, that was a really bad decision.
Agreed. Dredger, your thoughts?
Same. This is not my. I saw that and I go. I just it almost is what I said. You don't have time. And you said this best. You're like, oh, we have there's 4 hours and 20 minutes left. In this final arc, as long as we have maybe one episode. This will be technically arguably almost the third one that's been useless.
Just so many
Just
better.
very. I don't
options.
understand the decision making, and hopefully, the ending still again sticks. I want it to stick, but just this is 20 minutes you could have used towards Otis, plot, Kawaii Duel, Yuga. Pick something.
How
Pick
about
something.
the duel we've wanted to see for a very long time? A proper Yugioh versus Yuumu duel.
I agree.
You can figure out a reason why they have to duel.
Maybe.
But that's not
It'll
what we're
never
getting.
happen.
It's
That's not
just
happening.
crazy.
Yeah.
Cal, would you like to read 147? 10
Sure.
and Ron.
Episode 147,
Means a lot.
10 and Ron.
Sorry, buddy. Oh, sorry.
Was you? That's all right. I can wait. It's fine. Whenever this goes on my stream, I'll read it. Yeah. All right. Yugioh and co. chase after Oteusu,
Say
it
Otis.
right.
who has escaped from his prison. Guys, I hadn't seen this yet. I'm just saying. They find him talking to Tenten on the beach. Ron suspects they are colluding with each other, while Tenten doesn't like being suspected. As the 2 of them argue, Otis commences a duel. The 2 Nanahoshis will now tag duel against him. Nana, oh no.
Otis is getting the win, baby.
So you're telling me.
Let's go.
This is what you're telling me. You're telling me in probably, what, the 5th to last episode of this entire.
Fourth. Well, that would have been even the fourth.
Okay, so that
oh, wait, yeah.
I think it's the 5th to last episode of this entire
They
show.
bring back the important
Maybe
characters.
all of Yugioh. This is what we're doing.
Run.
There is a huge element in this summary.
He doesn't win that duel, then we're cooked.
I agree.
We're cooked for the final.
I agree
episode
with
of the
you.
show.
There is a huge element in that summary that is very easy to not realize and miss. Ron,
look at the picture.
as you can see by the picture at the end of 145, is with Asaka, Phaser, and Tremolo
Right, so you assume
in
that
the present.
the time
They're
machine-
there.
You would assume the time machine works. I think Otis is going to win this duel. I think he's going to go through the time
There's
machine
no way
and get to present day.
I'm going to eat these words. I know it. There is no way this man loses.
I agree
this
with
duel.
you. I agree with you.
There's literally no way.
So
Nah, fish. No way.
I don't know what
that
that
was
was.
like a throwback.
that is fish.
Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Come on, man.
No, that's actually a thing.
That was terrible.
I
No
actually,
way.
100% agree with you that he has to win and then go through the time machine.
These are the two people blocking him from going back to the present. This is the best we can do.
They couldn't.
Is the Nanahoshi.
They could have had
He's
a soccer.
absolutely right.
They could have had a soccer duel.
Well, you're yelling. He thinks Ron Ron's better than Yuumu.
Well, she was for a while, and that's scary.
This dueled for
No.
like 500 years in the past.
Yeah, and Ron's about to duel again. And guess what? Right as of right now, Ron's duel is closer to the finale than Yumu's duel. What if Yumu doesn't get another one?
I'm telling
What
you
if
right
he
now,
doesn't get another one?
Otis
I'll
is
mark it down
winning.
for you boys, and I'll mark it down for the chat. This man, and I mean Otis, this man loses this duel. I'm going to go on
Girl
the
power.
nastiest rant you could ever imagine on the next
I hope so.
podcast.
I kind of be losers for that reason.
No, and you should. I would be very upset as well. I've actually never been more confident in a duel in my life.
I agree with you on
very
that. Yeah,
confident
so
he
it-
will
But
win.
what, like,
I'm very confident.
in
he'll win.
theory,
Yes, yes.
he does lose. Say he loses. Now, usually what happens with the time machine, if it gets played, everybody gets sucked in, regardless win or loss.
Sure.
If he loses, he can still get his way, which was the classic Otis thing in
Correct,
sevens.
correct.
He didn't win. He gets his way and still goes through the time machine. The whole point of the duel was just for him to advance to the time machine, so he doesn't care if he throws the duel, as you would say he did in
my
sevens.
argument is the Nanahoshi don't have the time machine card.
They're with Asaka. One of them just took it.
I agree with you. They're with her. I don't think that's
What if Asaka gives it to Ron to use?
and doesn't want to duel. Otis herself was going to let the Nanahoshis duel.
Otis doesn't challenge her. Otis challenges the Nanahoshis.
Even then,
They're not going to say no. You should go duel Asaka instead.
no. It just doesn't just based on Asaka's character. That doesn't make sense.
She wasn't. Look.
I
all
understand.
I'm saying,
I understand you're trying to fabricate something. I
all
get
I'm
it.
saying
I appreciate that.
is-
but my point still stands that Asaka wouldn't just give. That's not the style. She would want to challenge her.
What if she didn't put it in there and it just got put in there?
By-
Just the workings.
So
of,
now it's gonna randomly
workings,
deck?
the workings of the creator or Quaiduel or whatever.
No, but if Otis
They'd have to explain
is
that.
manipulating who's going through the time machine, which was implied, not that it was Otis, but that some force
Is
was
yeah.
manipulating who was going through the time
Now
machine
it
in
feels
what
like it's
period.
even more him.
He grabs two joke duelists that can't work together, so he knows he can have an easy win against them to get back into the.
Yeah.
I swear to God, dude.
He's gonna win.
He better.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about.
By the way,
There's nothing
by
to
the
worry
way, by the way, I'm
No,
just
because
gonna.
I could see the caliber way where he's still
I'm
gets his
gonna-
way, but he loses.
All I'm gonna say is if Ron wins this duel, if the Nanahoshis win,
Before you say
I-
anything,
someone's-
Otis has never won a duel, so don't even try.
someone's buying me dinner.
no.
Someone is buying me dinner.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be a hot podcast.
I am-
for two different reasons. We're gonna be going all.
I am popping bottles if Ron wins, and not because I think that's good for the show, just for the pure fact that everyone else is going to be pissed.
What is his record at this point between the two shows?
0-13?
I believe he's 0-9.
Oh,
So
9
he's
Shingo.
So he's Shingo.
He's
He's
Shingo.
Shingo.
Yeah,
Wait,
who
wait.
you always say is cool.
He's Shingo with
No,
time
first of all,
travel.
Nick T
That's
says
Nick T.
he's
That
cool.
is
He's
Nick
a
T.
Chad.
Yeah, well,
and
Nick
that's
T.
why you don't like him because he says you can't aspire to be him.
He's
That's what
Shingo with time travel.
He's not Shingo. No, he's much more powerful.
Is he?
Is he though? This man's a clown, bro.
Oh man, he's gonna, dude. I'm so happy that I've at least gotten to the point where Pete was like, maybe he does. Maybe he could lose. That's the whole thing.
Swear to God.
I'm like, because think about sevens. Like, and I'm obviously playing devil's advocate here. I don't think he's going to lose.
No, I know.
But
I can
in
see
sevens, every way he advanced himself was by losing a duel.
So here's the thing. I don't.
Every single way.
My issue is not that Otis is going to get what he wants. My issue is, again, we chose the freaking Nanahoshis.
Yeah.
That's who he has to get past.
Really integral part of the team.
Let me put it to you this way. This is like we had to stop Thanos from going through a portal, and we threw out their Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What is happening? This is the best we can come up with. We have all these amazing duelists, and the best we can come up with is the Nanahoshis. What are we doing?
Right. No tanks, no healers, just crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. I think, and I get your point, I think this is all part of Otis's plan to pick off two very bad duelists.
Explain that.
I
If
think
it's
they
not
will.
explained that he just beats them, then he's bad.
I think he will.
Hey,
because it says that he commences the duel.
Yeah.
So I think he forces them into a 2-on-1. It's not like they would ever willingly work together. I think the whole point of this episode is going to be that he grabbed Ron and 1010 through the time machine and purposely goes after them knowing they can't work together.
I'm open.
That's what I believe.
I am hoping. This man has
That's what I
proven
believe.
he is smart. That better be the reason.
Hey, all I'm saying is if they win, man.
Oh, well, if they win, the show's over.
If they win.
No,
If they win, somehow you have to find a way to make a custom Ron shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Like
we'll
that's
find a
gotta
way.
be you.
If they win, I don't think the show can end well.
I'm going to find a way.
I think the show's doomed. I'm not even kidding.
Episode 147. Where Yugioh rushes decide.
I will get a best girl Ron shirt made if they win.
Absolutely. You've been championing that character forever.
By the way, 148's title is Moonlight Smile. That's all we have for 148.
We're doing the moon.
Yeah.
Maybe Moon Knight will show up in this freaking show.
That'd be great.
The moon haunts you.
That'd be great. That'd be better than. Hey, be still better than having Nanahoshi and Ron a freaking duel.
Well, but
This is the best we could.
I think you guys are focusing on the wrong thing.
It's like
No, we're not.
it's like you gave over your Vanguard account to Nick T and expected to make a profit. Why? Dude, that's the best person you can pick.
I feel bad for both of you guys in that scenario.
Make me some money, Nick T. Yeah, no, listen, it's well, there's a lot of things that can happen, and Dredge, your thoughts on 147's summary?
I think we've talked. Have I not?
Yeah,
been
I didn't
vocal?
ask you directly.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they better explain why these two no-name duelists are the ones trying to stop Otis. That's basically it.
Well, again, they're not trying to. He initiates
He forces
the duel.
them to duel.
No, okay. You're both guys. It's all subjective. No, I don't care. The summary is not fact. We have to watch
they
the
would
show.
Never work together.
Why not?
They do not like each
Ron
other.
was
need to like
yelling
each
at
other.
her.
They
They
need
were
to stop
yelling at
Otis.
each other.
They
They
still
were
need to stop-
they were fighting with
They
each
still
other, and
need
he
to
was like, "Hey, you two, come here."
Dude, just because two people don't like each other doesn't mean they don't know they have to stop a terrible force or tell a person. What do you mean?
but just based on the summary itself, Ron
I'm
is
not even
sus-
gonna look at them because I can't. I can't look at either
no,
of them because
but
he just jumps on
the
top
whole-
of whatever
no,
he
no, no,
says.
no, 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 no.
It's just crazy.
Well, it's just reading.
This is it's reading comprehension. They
No,
find
it's not.
they
It's not
find
reading
him,
comprehension.
They find him talking
Not
to
at all.
1010 on the beach. Ron suspects that they're colluding. Now 1010's mad at Ron because she's suspecting her for collusion, and all of a sudden now they're teammates.
Welcome to your SAT.
I didn't
prep
say they're
class.
dude. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can't work together. What do you mean?
No. But what I'm saying is they didn't decide. Hey, we're gonna go duel Otis now. Otis
I'm
said,
not-
"Hey, you two, come here. I'm dueling you."
This is a summary. I've watched the episode.
Oh,
It's a summary.
God, context clues.
It's a summary.
So he's just
Bro.
he's just gonna go get over here.
Yes, exactly.
That's even worse.
That's what I think.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, because he's
that's
already
so
he's
bad,
already
dude.
talking to
That's so
1010.
bad.
But I think that would make sense as to why those two are the ones dueling, because no one in their right mind would pick those two to try to stop.
But how can you
Otis.
force someone to rush duel? Explain to me that.
I
That's
think
how they
it
do
was
it.
actually that was a concept that happened in Arc 5. Obelisk Force would
Mind control?
invade. No, and you would attached, like it was kind of like a launcher, like ninja device to
They
someone's
did that in
dual
5's
disc.
too.
Yeah, and right with the police.
Yeah.
So we've seen forced dueling before.
You got to bring back
When's
drugs.
the last time we saw forced dueling in Yu-Gi-Oh?
I think it was Arc 5. I don't think it happened.
So
in
we
Vrains.
haven't done this new era. We're just gonna do it.
When was the last
5
time we saw
episodes left.
ritual summoning in Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's been going on for weeks now, though. It's different.
It's
It's different. Big different thing. No.
But we don't know Otis's power.
You
in
could
this
make
world.
a slight argument, even though it's not the same thing, that kind of Yusaku was forced to duel Kusanagi, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
So
Yeah.
I know it's not the
Sure.
same
You could
exact
argue that.
technology, but you
It's
could
fair.
kind of argue that.
I'll allow that argument. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, with these summaries, zero sign of Gohai Yuna. Your
what-
guys' thoughts on that?
She
I mean, we know
gone.
she's going to be in the show. Well, she's not gone. We know she's
Maybe
gonna be
she's
in it.
literally dead.
Well, but we know she's going to be
She's
in
the
the show. 'cause
off-screen
of
death.
Jump
Well,
Fest stuff.
she's going to be in the future after that duel when they take the time thing and they go all the way to 7's time, and she's going to be there with Yuga. They were
So
sent back to
she-
the right timeline.
So she's going to be in 148.
148 or 149.
Well, when does here's why we're running out of time.
The more
We've
you
been
talk
running
about
out
it,
of time.
the more you're getting nervous.
Well, no,
as you keep talking
I
about
think
it.
I think
what
they're
I'm
just
trying
going
to
to
do
scrap
here.
one of these two duels. You always have your final boss duel at the end of the show and your ceremonial duel.
ceremonial's gone.
One
Yeah,
of
the
those.
ceremonial
And to
duel.
be fair, the ceremonial duel, you could argue, has not really existed properly since Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5.
True.
Vrains did
Yeah,
not.
that's right. I want to make everyone smile.
Right.
Can't wait for that.
Against him and Reiji. I mean, Playmaker and some
It
people
worked in
consider
both ways.
It does work,
It does
in,
work
both
in
ways.
both ways.
And then you had Yuga Luke, but that was not after the final duel it concluded. That was within the middle of it. So
Yeah.
maybe they could do something like that. But if you imagine those duels are going to be 1 to 2 episodes each, they have to start in like 149
Yes.
at least.
That's what we've
Yeah,
been
so-
saying.
Yeah.
But
so
that's why that's why I think the theory of
Thank
that they're going to go through the time machine at the end of 147 makes sense, because that can take you to wherever Otis wants to go, right? Assuming he's the guy in charge pulling the strings here. That's
Sure,
I think
yeah.
we're all under that assumption, at least right now. You go into this other time and space where Gohai Yuna went, if she's not where they are, probably will be where Yuga is, because I'm sure her crazy self, she found a way to get to where he is.
I
There's only-
aspired to
Yeah.
have that level of casual. That
Yeah.
she just
There's
jumped
only
in.
one problem with your theory, and I think Dylan can attest. I don't know if it's true. Wasn't there during Jump Fest a still of Yuna in that older kind of
No,
style
but it
clothing?
was just a white cloak.
I thought it
Which
was
is a white cloak?
futuristic.
It was like kind of
Okay.
futuristic
Yeah, that's
looking,
fair.
yeah.
Oh God,
Okay.
dude,
Which
we
is-
can't handle going to the future.
Well,
or
yeah,
the
we can. That's what we're
present, or
doing.
the past.
No, but like
I think we're doing that.
all I'm saying is if we just go to what if we ended up at 7's time, right?
I think that's possible.
And the coming down in the ship thing,
yeah.
it's actually Yuhi and the gang coming down,
Okay.
and that's how you end the last 4 episodes.
And I was like, stop it.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
maybe.
it's the whole crew is coming there to conclude the 2 shows.
But then how did Yuga, then Yuga doesn't get back?
He's there.
Yeah, but no, because that happens at the end of 7's when
Yep.
Yuga is not there.
I know.
So how is he there?
Dylan,
If he's
the
not-
timelines have changed. Right? And also,
you could argue
and
that.
also, who said that he wasn't there, just in hiding?
Oh, so you think he got back to his world?
Like, what
and
if he
just
was?
hid?
What if he's with Gohai Yuna?
Yuga hid.
What? Oh, is that shocking? Yuga hiding?
I mean,
Yuga running away from his problems? Is that shocking?
Yeah, well, that's
The guy
not shocking.
avoids
well,
everything.
okay, he doesn't
Yeah.
run away from the problems. He just dips out of
We're
having
in this
the
situation
explanation.
because of Yuga, if we have to be honest.
But like, what if he is?
Your hate to Yuga is incredible.
all I'm saying is Yuga and Yuna are probably in the same time.
I doubt it.
I don't.
You're gonna make it that easy for her that she just found him.
I
like
think
that.
she went way into the future, and I think she went into like an apocalyptic future and lost her mind, and she
already
is
lost
going
her
to come
mind.
back, and there's going to be hell to pay.
How much time is there left? in the
Yeah,
show?
so you will then
Yeah, if we
prescribe
had
to the
another
theory that we're
season,
adding a whole
maybe.
other arc at least.
Yeah, if we had another
You better
season
start.
of-
You better start
There's-
putting no on that poll over there.
There's going to be hell to pay.
So it's
100
funny. Only thing I see you writing over there is "There's no time. There's no time. There's no time." You get nervous?
Have I written that?
Yeah, actually, right now.
132 votes, 56% yes, 43% no.
Only 1%
Still a
for the milk.
large chunk of people that think, hey, we're going beyond Mars.
God, I hope they're right.
I hope they're right, too.
so right,
Well,
dude.
We
I
need it.
think obviously we always want more episodes.
Of course.
I also think it eases the tension of holy crap, we have 6 episodes left, and we are having a Nanahoshi tag team duel.
We will
wait,
know.
wait. A minute ago, you're all cool. Like, oh, of course, it's fine.
No. What I said was Otis can.
You said check the tape.
What I said was 1, hell yeah, Ron's dueling. And then 2, I said Otis can still lose and get what he wants because that's all he did in 7s.
Yeah.
How much more time do I have left here?
Hopefully,
60 minutes, thank
hopefully
the Lord.
more actually.
Thank the Lord.
But my point is,
darkness,
in
my
terms of in terms of being integral to the story and getting to a good end, the Ron duel doesn't make sense. Me being a troll to all of you and saying Ron is going to be the best ever, I am obviously going to cheer that on.
Not a troll.
There's a
Part
lot
of
of
me
me that
believes that you believe that.
You know, it's still about 10 times, maybe 100 times less belief than the way Dylan is with Otis. And
Well,
if you can
that's
agree with me
fair.
on that.
I will, though. I will still defend that point. I think, and of course we do have to wait for the episode, but I still think it could make sense why the Nanahoshis are dueling in 147.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like I think that's
He
I
picked off
agree
the
that it
weaklings.
Could make
That's
sense.
right.
I'm saying if they don't explain that and those are the two that they chose to
Sure.
duel,
Wasn't
terrible.
Ron introduced in this show as someone that literally couldn't duel?
Yes.
Yes.
Like she had her position of power and could not duel.
And I'm sure Otis knows
So,
that.
well, what I'm saying is, in your theory of it was picking at the weak characters, that makes a lot of sense.
And characters that don't get along.
Yeah.
And now have to work together.
Yes.
And then wouldn't it be a great way for them to just figure out how to work together? And she knows how to duel now for her character arc, and they freaking win.
Wow,
And they
what a
win.
send off for
Well-
the best girl in the show.
And now this clown is 0-10.
Well,
and I'm
as-
supposed to take him seriously. For
Well,
the
no,
end of
as
the
I
show.
said, if that happens, the show's over.
More like 010.
The show's over if that happens.
Well,
It's not
he
gonna
said
happen.
there's a way that he'll still accomplish his goal. So then
well,
you're off the train
Well, no,
if he loses.
Well, if he still accomplishes his goal.
Right, so you're back on the train.
Ah!
What we call you in the industry is a corporate sellout. That's what we call you, bud.
I need answers, man, when it comes
You're
to
not
Otis.
getting them.
Oh, no, we're going to get them.
You're not
I feel
getting
good that
anything.
we're going to get them. Do you go around the table real quick? Is Yugioh showing up before the show ends?
Yes.
He has to.
Yes.
He
He really
literally
does.
has to.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know that
Yes.
I don't know there's enough time,
Yes.
but he has to. Like that's how I'll word it. I know that makes
Dude,
sense. I don't know that we have enough time.
Well, the
but he has to.
thing with Yugioh is you really, at this point, with the way he comes and goes, you don't need an explanation for him showing up. You just don't.
Well,
But no,
No,
you do.
No, you don't. You don't
Yeah.
need more than like a
Man,
two.
These guys yapping tonight. I
No,
can't
you
do
don't
it.
need more than like a 2-minute explanation, and that's it. You don't
Okay,
need an
but that means it's an
episode.
That's an explanation.
I know, but you don't need like, oh no, Yugioh has to come back, and you need 2 episodes
He's gone.
yeah,
for him
yeah,
to get
yeah.
to.
I agree.
No, what I mean is you don't need to hear his entire life story of while he was gone.
Say your exact statement was he can come back with no explanation. 3
Yes.
seconds later, he needs to have a 2-minute explanation though. Those are different things.
No.
That's an explanation.
My point, what I meant by
No,
no,
the
hold on,
difference.
no. What I meant by no explanation, it was a poor choice of words.
There you
It was
go.
a poor choice of words.
There you go.
You didn't even let me get there. You were yelling at
you were
me.
already yapping. There was an explanation, dude. You're like, oh, but he needs an explanation. You just said he didn't.
My point
Make
was
up your mind.
you don't need a whole episode for it. Is what I
I
meant.
agree. Yes,
That's
you
what
have
I meant.
time for that. Of course, I understand.
That's what I meant.
Now,
That's what I meant.
now let me paint this picture for you, right?
Yes,
You ready?
that's what I meant.
He comes back into the screen. It's a big moment. Caber bends over to Zuo Jo. He just goes, "He's found his something."
Yeah.
Well,
that's
right
something.
There, right there. I'm putting the mic down. We're done.
Yeah, I'm
We're
out.
done.
Bye.
As soon as that moment happens.
Well, that's something.
Oh, dude.
Well, listen.
That's how this show ends. Yugioh appears. Well, that's something.
Can't do it,
Oh
dude.
my
I think the show will end with like kind of like a catchy catchphrase.
Yeah, but like what? Is it just gonna be something? What have we gotten really a catchphrase in this show? And how they're gonna introduce it to end the show? They're just gonna throw in like a random line.
Like Yui going, that's life, man.
And then what? A laugh track is gonna play?
No,
we're gonna zoom out. It's gonna be like the sky zoom out of Matsuba Town.
It shows the moon, and then you play na na na.
Remember?
You play the ending
Remember we
song.
played the opening at the end of that really sad episode. The
Oh my
Arp
God, I know, right?
Yeah, everybody's dead.
Like, what the hell is this, man? What am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to start cheering?
That's right.
Yo, this is
They
good.
could have played the ending, which would have been
Yes,
perfect.
the ending fit
Yeah.
the yeah.
Well, they literally. I mean, other shows have done that, right? We've seen JJK do that. Like horrible things happen, and they're like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, I am not ready for
Yeah.
this right now.
The one that was good, they used the opening for when Yuji, after he sees what he did, and they played that was
You on
that
my
was sick.
special.
That was
Oh, it's something tonight.
oh, that was
really is.
too.
You wanna talk
freaking
about
funny.
something?
Oh, I'm dying.
Um.
Hey, that was good.
Want to hit donos?
Oh God. Yeah. I think it's time we'll do some donations. Appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you. We're able to do this podcast because of you guys. So thank you.
I'm so happy I got Dredge so riled up.
Oh my God,
Dude,
That's good,
the best
dude.
is someone in chat wrote, Dredge, listen. I'm like, dude, did you not? He literally said it. Now, again, I know
poor
you
choice
missed
of
it.
words.
I agree.
That's
but, like, he was like, I'm like, he said, no, what he said was wrong.
Yeah.
It's not what he meant to say.
which
It
is
was
why I
wrong.
was trying to get back
Yeah, I
to
know.
it.
I
But
couldn't
you
let
were
you.
you were ready. Like, you were there.
I
You were
wasn't
there.
going to let you. I was like,
Clearly, but you know what? We all love this show. We've been with
Yeah.
the show for 3 years. Tensions are high right now.
Yeah.
As
We're
demonstrated.
nervous.
I've
We're
said it-
nervous. Yeah.
I've said it for 2
Nervous.
months. We're in trouble. I've been saying.
I think tensions are high right now, and I also think there is a lot of fear that we have subliminally, that I think a lot of people have subliminally, because unlike with every other show before this one, there's nothing that we know of next.
Yeah.
And that fear of the unknown, will it come back? Will it not come back? If it comes back, when will it come back? Are we going to get something at the end that says Yugioh will we don't know. That fear of the unknown, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like I'm in a lot of times, memes aside, I feel like I have a pretty good pulse on how a lot of people in the community feel.
do.
There's a lot of people that are nervous and scared.
You gotta be
and
nervous.
I am. Yeah,
and
of
I
course.
think the people that are not nervous are honestly the people that are, and I'm not taking shots at them, they're a little bit in denial of like, it's going to the summer, man. Or we're definitely getting a Yukio 9 announcement at the end. I'm like, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think statistically, Konami Striker could probably not.
Yeah, yeah. I am optimistic that this year's Jump Festa, which of course is not for another 10 months.
We gotta bring
I'm
it
not.
back.
No. Clocks.
At the
no.
new house, we're setting the
Sure,
clock
at
up.
the new house.
Yeah.
I am optimistic that we are going to get an announcement, even if it's seasonal. I think
God,
we
I
are
hope
going to get
so,
an
dude.
announcement, but I think it's going to be some unknown for a while, and we'll get through it. We always do.
Into the unknown.
Any super chats or memberships?
Do you want me to do that first?
Yes.
Usually you do the links. That's why I'm asking. It's true. Okay. We got a member for 17 months at Raw Yellow, Tyler DeBoer.
Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler, remember the mystery dual server on the moon? Remember Otis wants to send people to the moon? I still think the timeline has never changed.
I have seen that go around, that like the timelines, it's going to be like it's all continued. Like, even though this stuff has been messed up, it was all supposed to happen, and that's why the timeline doesn't change. Time travel is confusing, but Tyler could be right about that. Yeah. Tyler, the moon is obviously such a big subject of interest when it comes to Rush Yu-Gi-Oh! Thank you so much for the 17 months.
And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't in this batch of episodes they made a comment about like, the more you do to time, it just kind of like, it snaps back into place or something. It was something along those lines. I think they made that in these batch
Kawhi
of
Tell, I
episodes.
think, said it, didn't he?
So it was like, they're right there saying it's kind of like just a loop paradoxal circle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder if I have. No, I don't have that picture. I have
That one.
a different one where it's how is that Uemu and the others all landed in the same place, right? That
Yeah.
that it wasn't a coincidence. But yeah, I think it was that conversation with Kawhi Tell. I think
it was.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyler. We got 34 months at Slifer Red for Pick Rick.
Thank you, Pick.
And Pick Rick said, strike the Monaming pose.
You can do it. I don't think that was it. I think it's I don't think it's as many fingers as you're.
It's like a W. It's almost like this.
Yeah,
It's like this.
Cal's looks better.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There you go. You nailed it.
Too many fingers going on, dude.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know what you're trying to do. there.
Monami.
Actually, you point a gun at the chat.
But that's crazy.
It doesn't feel like that's pointing you towards your destiny. I don't think you nailed it. No.
Yeah, that was our best monoming pose pick, Rick. Hopefully,
All right, let's do a Gaku Ting impression.
Nick T's not.
No, instead we got $2 Canadian from Dylan Peddle.
Oh,
Thank
great
you,
name.
Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan.
Dylan said, "If Yugioh is final villain, I want the twins to face him."
That's
for
the only
sure.
option.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's literally the only option.
If Udius is the final villain, I wouldn't mind Udius Zuo round 5 and Zuo fails to beat him.
Yeah.
Udius powers up and then the twins have to stop him.
Yudi is Nanahoshi's for the end of the show.
Yeah, I hope I don't necessarily want Udius to be the final villain, to be honest with you.
No, I don't either.
But if he is, totally agree with you there, Dylan. I think it has to be the twins to stop him.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you, Dylan. We got $5 from Sean Gilbride.
Great Sean Gilbride. Thank you, Sean.
Sean said, "In my 3 months of weight loss, I've lost about 20 pounds so far.
Awesome.
In mid-November, I was 194.8 versus now I'm about 175." And then in parentheses said, "I'm 5'6".
Yeah, congrats,
Very
dude.
nice.
That
Yeah,
is
congrats,
awesome.
Sean.
Weight loss is tough.
Weight loss is tough, and it
Yes.
usually happens over like a long period of time.
Yep.
That's only in 3 months, so
Yeah,
that's
it's good.
really impressive.
He's
really
definitely being strict with, I guess, diet and exercise. Like,
Yeah.
he's sticking to it.
That's the thing. Right?
Dieting is the most important part.
Yeah.
It
Sure.
is.
Yeah, so that's amazing, Sean. Keep it up. Listen, dude, you are very inspiring, and thank you so much for the generosity, and thank you for the update. Always love hearing life updates, whether it's the proms, the bowling, the sports. Love
Yeah.
it, man. So thank you so
Yes.
much, Sean. Keep it up. We're proud of you here. Thank you, dude.
Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
We got $8 Australian from Electra Kevin.
The man from the land down under. Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin
Appreciate
said,
it.
"Who do y'all think would win in a duel between Maximilian Pegasus and Sartorius?"
Pegasus. I'm not. I can snap call that.
Yeah, Pegasus.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
not-
say, really, you're really
I'm
gonna
not, I'm
think?
not. I'm not going to dramatically
I'm like
play it out. I think
Sartorius.
Pegasus is
Yeah,
the
that's-
better duel, especially now if it's Pegasus post Millennium Eye.
Definitely. I'd have to think about it.
That's
I
tougher.
went.
But I always like to assume
at
full
their
strength,
powerful. Yeah.
and I think Pegasus with the Millennium
Oh my
Eye
God.
versus
So
Sayu.
you mean when he's cheating, basically.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Has an advantage.
No, I mean, he certainly is cheating.
Yeah.
But you know,
Straight
That's
up.
fine.
I mean,
You know,
yeah,
like-
yeah. But man, what a power!
Yeah. It's something.
It's his something.
It's his something.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah, I'd go Pegasus.
Thank you, Kevin. We
Thank you,
got
Kevin.
$10 from Colin Cleaves.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate you, my man.
Colin said, "If you had to pick a favorite deck Otis used from all the ones he used with Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Summon Skull, Dark Magician, Darkness, Seven's Road, and now Outerverse, which would you say is your favorite?"
Yeah, it's a great one. I want to say Red Eyes Snap Call, but I'm going to try to put nostalgia aside. And if I had to pick between the Darkness, Seven's Road, or the Outerverse, removing nostalgia, I'm picking Outerverse, dude.
Okay.
Like, I think Outerverse is so cool because of what it represents.
Yep.
And I love the way that it mimics Udius's deck. The Darkness, Seven's Roads were cool. That fusion was really cool.
Yeah.
But I honestly prefer the Outerverse cards. I'm excited to see him duel again, Colin. And thank you for the donation. Because I'm excited to see more Outerverse cards,
Unless
hopefully.
those are gone and he just mimics the Nanahoshi's deck.
Well, I love what you're now. I hope not. But I love what you theorized you guys did, where you said maybe he created a ritual card.
Yeah.
From that, I think that's very.
Yeah.
Never
I
thought
think
about
so.
that.
The ritual
I think that's very
Yeah.
possible.
Oh, no.
I love that.
I
dude.
will.
those poor people, that's what they would get blasted with.
Yep.
Dude. Yeah.
I will say the Darkness Seven's Road is much cooler than the regular Seven's Road. I will say that.
The dark. Usually those evil cards look.
Yeah.
Cool. They just do.
The Outerverse, though, I think would be my favorite also.
I think I'd still pick the Darkness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're cool. They're
It just
cool.
and also too just the finale and everything.
Yeah.
7 or Outerverse probably.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. We got $20 from JR Glenn.
JR, thank you so much, my man.
And JR simply said, "Can I get the guy's top 5 snacks?"
I saw this yesterday. I didn't
Snacks,
answer.
you said?
Yeah, top
Snacks.
5 snacks.
JR wants snack suggestions because he's taken off work for the early days collection stream and he's planning to watch it in
Gotcha.
full. Which,
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll sleep.
I hope he's.
Yeah, because
I
we're gonna
really
be
do.
live for probably like a week.
It will be
Realistically, 120 hours.
So for those wondering, March 3rd at noon, we are doing an early days collection stream. We will be live on this channel
Hope his PC
until
can
we
make it
beat
120
every
hours.
game in the early days collection. Yeah, it's going to be a very long stream. Top 5 snacks. I goldfish Tostitos with chips.
Tostitos with
salsa,
chips.
dude.
Tostitos with salsa, man. So
Um,
good. Pretzels. I like pretzels.
Those
Top
Tostitos with chips. are-
5 snacks.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
I always love a good like carrots or celery and hummus. That's solid.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
that's
go
really
there.
good.
I'll run that.
Carrots and ranch is great.
Carrots and ranch is solid. So I'll give you that. That's not bad either.
Favorite snacks?
I really like the oh god, what are they
Ritz
called?
crackers.
I actually like the Ritz crackers, but the
minis.
the little cheese ones.
Yeah, they're good.
the
You know what's
mini
I actually
ones.
really like bananas. I'd argue bananas is a good snack for me. I like
I would
bananas
agree.
a lot.
Okay.
Apple and peanut butter.
Yeah,
Love
that's
good apple
classic.
peanut butter. That's a
Classic.
good one. I'm trying to think of a bad snack I like too. Like
Pringles,
good ones.
Cheez-Its.
Pringles.
Cheez-Its are good ones.
No, extra
Um,
toasty Cheez-Its.
Doesn't
Gotta be specific.
honestly, as
Extra
if it's the regular or the extra
That's fair.
toasty,
I'll
it hits.
allow
The purple Dorito bag.
spicy,
the spicy sweet
ranch,
chili, spicy sweet chili.
Eh.
Those are really
Those are
good.
okay.
Sour Patch watermelons are always a favorite
dude.
of
Oh,
mine as
I
a
can mess
snack.
up some Sour
honestly,
Patch.
Skinny
Yeah.
Pop. You know that Skinny Pop?
And
Something about that
Skinny Pop white cheddar popcorn.
I don't know if I had the white cheddar. I never had the regular
White
Skinny
cheddar
Pop.
is
White cheddar popcorn in general.
White cheddar is
Oh, maybe
good.
I'm thinking of the Smart Pop ones. Is the white cheddar in the black
okay.
bag?
Yeah. Okay.
That's really good
That's
too.
good.
Speedy Man s'mores if you don't have a fire pit where you just take a Hershey bar, a marshmallow, put it
What
in the
about you, Pete?
microwave for 10 seconds, and then close them.
Definitely got to throw some type of chocolate chip cookie in there. So if you
Chips
want,
Ahoy.
yes, if you want to go Chips Ahoy, and you
That's
don't want
a
to
good
make
The
your own
Chewies,
Oreo.
the Chewies,
I
right?
said that. Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
The
yeah.
Chewies?
Absolutely the Chewies, bro. Absolutely, 100. I'm sorry,
The
I didn't
classic.
know you want to just break your teeth. I
Break
guess
your
that's on you.
teeth.
On what?
On the hard, like normal,
The
Chips
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 Ahoy.
Ahoy are not hard.
The
Those
Chewy-
regular
dude,
ones,
the
the
Chewies
red
are so
packet.
good, dude.
You dip them in milk, soften them up.
No, I like the chewy
The
and then put
Chewies,
it in the
dude,
milk.
the
Nah,
Chewies
the
so
Chewy's better than the
Nah, the
regular.
Chewy's
Chewy's
so
better than
good,
regular.
I don't like
Chewy's
the
better than
Chewy.
regular.
No.
Chad agrees.
Tostitos
Chewy.
is always gonna
You want to get loud? Let's get
crazy.
loud.
Tostitos and salsa are very
is
good.
a
Yeah.
classic. Even any type
Buff
of
chicken
rich
dip.
chip. Honestly,
Oh, I didn't
I
think
love
buff chicken dip.
kettle cooked chips.
Yeah,
I love a
kettle
good
cooks are
Oh,
good.
kettle corn. Go to like
Oh.
Hershey, PA, get some kettle corn.
We
You
don't-
probably
you
don't have to go to
Hershey,
Right,
PA.
right. I realized that.
You could
Chad,
though.
have a good night. You don't have
Judger's
to hear
leaving.
anybody
I'm
yelling.
walking him out. Be
Yeah.
right back.
Here, you
keep,
wanna take this
keep
with you,
naming
too?
keep naming off snacks. Thanks. Thank you for. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we like to snack over here on.
Yeah,
You
you
do
know what?
everything.
I don't know what else. I mean, depends on snack is so loosely defined.
Yeah.
You could throw just a typical ice pop or ice cream sundae in a snack.
You could also
Although I
say.
would categorize that more as dessert.
You also could say though, like a dessert could be a snack too, like a bowl of ice
yeah,
cream.
I'm trying to
Like,
think just like not elaborate.
Something you
right?
pick at.
Something
Something
real
you can
quick
pick at,
you
yeah.
pick up and grab. Pretzels is an absolute
Like
classic.
if it's like
Especially the like the cigar long ones.
the
where you
pretzel
can put
rods, I have a
love it.
whole bucket in my
Oh
room.
my god,
I love
so
those.
good.
Yeah, I'm a very big savory snack guy. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge sweet tooth.
No,
so
I'm not either.
So like the Pringles and the Cheez-Its and Goldfish and like
you
things
give me
like that.
anything with
Yeah.
salt, I'm
Mhm.
in. I'm in.
Pretzels, Tostitos, and salsa.
A goldfish,
Like,
dude.
yeah, and like I love protein bars as snacks too. It's I don't know, like
No,
there's
they're
a
great.
weird
No,
there's
they're
a
great.
there's a weird taste to a lot of protein bars, but I like it. I don't know what
Let
it
me
is.
tell you,
like,
never get keto-friendly protein bars. One of the more disgusting things
No.
I've ever eaten in my life. I ate about 2. I said, "Why am I doing this to myself? The
Yeah.
money's not even worth it." Threw the
Yeah.
rest of the box out. I was like, I can't do it.
I like the Cliff Bars.
Yeah, Clif Bars are solid.
They're not
solid.
like that high in protein, but they're just I don't know. They just taste really good, and they have some of the Cliff Bars actually have like a little bit of caffeine in them too.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
as like a pick me up.
No, they are solid.
So-
Nutri-Grain bar is always a solid
Yep.
one. Fig bars, if you want a little quick
Yep.
pick me up there. You ever, when you have a piece of goldfish, you ever when it's in your mouth, you split it with your teeth down the middle so you have both sides? You ever do that?
all the time.
all
the time.
Like it's just a classic.
Yeah,
goldfish
it's
move.
like you put it right on your teeth, and it just splits it right in half.
Now I'm
yeah.
thinking about all these snacks.
Yeah, snacking.
Yeah, I did.
Fritos are good.
Oh, Fritos. Are
You ever
good,
have
too.
the honey barbecue twist Fritos?
Yes.
Those ones are really good
yes,
too.
But Cheez-Its, I think I'm definitely picking over all
cheese.
of them.
I have a family-sized box of Cheez-Its in the house right now, and a family-sized tube of Pringles. Those are my 2 favorite snacks: Pringles
Yeah.
and
I've
Cheez-Its.
fallen off with Pringles. I had them more as a kid.
The thing that I dislike about Pringles is my hands are too big for the container.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
I have to
Yeah,
like
you're always
really-
sliding
yeah.
it. And yeah.
Or I'm like just drinking the Pringles. So.
I will still to this day do the duck bill with the Pringles.
Oh, me too.
And
Oh,
still
all the time.
I don't care how old I am.
I do the duck bill and I go and then I eat them. Yeah,
Every
all the
single
time.
time. But JR, if that doesn't give you a whole bunch of suggestions, I don't know
Yes.
what will.
that's snacking with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything podcast.
Next dono.
We got $8 from Electric Kevin. Thank you, Kev. Kevin said, I was always intrigued that Americans and Canadians are the only people in the world that call biscuits cookies.
Yeah.
Why do you guys call them that? So I only call it that because that's what I know it as. I don't think there's any reason for it. But I always was fascinated with the fact that you bake cookies, but you cook bacon. That makes no sense.
We've done this with every word in the English language, dude.
Yeah.
Parkway, driveway,
Yep.
all these things that they make zero
Just
sense.
backwards.
Why we call them that.
So I couldn't give you the real reason because we also have cookies that we call biscuits, but they're
Yes.
just different types of cookies. But we also call rolls biscuits,
Right.
Like
a roll biscuit is the number one thing I
Like
look
a
forward
breakfast
to
biscuit.
on Thanksgiving.
yeah,
Number one thing I look forward to.
like a breakfast
So
biscuit is
also,
always
I
great.
saw great call. We missed in the snacks bagel bites. How did we miss bagel
So
bites?
bagel bites, that is but then you can add mozzarella sticks. You can add a lot of things like that.
But I just feel like it is a snack related thing. The only thing that is bad about
It's almost
bagel
like an
bites
appetizer to me.
is I will every single time burn the roof of my mouth.
Oh,
Without
yeah.
fail, doesn't matter how many times I tell myself, I always will do it.
Dylan was eating those for dinner the other day. I saw the oven heating up, and there's just a whole box of.
I know you're saying
pizza
snack.
bagels.
I'm like, sometimes I have that for lunch or dinner.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know?
yesterday you had popcorn and soda for dinner.
That was very bad.
Which
Now,
was-
and I'll admit that was bad. That was.
and you look forward to it on the stream right before. I'm like,
love
dude, this is
popcorn.
a horrible
I
dinner,
love
dude.
popcorn.
You know
too.
what's
How are
crazy
you
though?
alive?
Another good snack,
But
popcorn.
you know what is insane? I had that, and I had the soda, and then I came home and I ate a box of specialty marshmallows, and my stomach was totally fine.
That pisses me off.
How in the
That
world are
pisses me
you
off.
not obese? It just doesn't make any sense.
There's times where my brother, who unfortunately has a lot of stomach issues.
Me too.
So does my wonderful fiance and my mom too. I feel terrible for anyone that has I have a stomach of steel. I'm very lucky in that regard.
I do not.
Yeah, I know. And I'm I said to my brother, I'm like, if you ate what I ate in a day, how do you think you'd feel? And he looked me in the eyes and he said, I wouldn't survive.
You'd be curled up in the bathroom.
That's crazy.
No,
Yeah.
but I do think, and I hope not, but I do think at some point it will catch up with you and you'll have to change your diet.
I hope not.
But I think you have filled your body with so much crap over the years that your stomach gave up, and they're like, all right, we just got to adjust.
There's just a steel trap.
Can
on
I
the
show
end.
you the key?
Water?
This is the key.
Everyone drinks water,
the-
dude.
the-
I drink water all day,
The,
and that is not the key.
The scientists don't want you to know about this trick.
Well,
If you drink water while you eat sugary foods, it flushes out all the bad stuff.
Dylan, regardless of the fact that you're just making this up the way that you are,
That's not health advice.
drinking water is literally the healthiest thing you
It's
can
how
do
you
for
live.
for everything. You need to be
people don't know it.
hydrated.
It's very healthy.
Yeah, you need to hydrate.
You're
You drink
mostly
water.
made up of water. Who doesn't know that?
But what gets me mad is it
very
actually
good for you.
drinking water actually does help your stomach. If you have a bad stomach, drinking a lot of water is good for that.
Very good for you.
But you don't even know that. You're just saying, the water is what does it for me.
I don't know what does it for me.
Yeah, you drink 12 bottles of water a day.
I don't need
You eat 18 s'mores.
Okay, that's
and
not true.
and
I
then
don't
you
eat
make a
as-
peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch.
That is usually my lunch.
Which is
PB&J is a great snack.
It's a great lunch.
Great snack,
No,
too.
but consistently
Grilled cheese.
eating that is not good for you.
I would agree with that. I will say this. Can I say this?
Sure, man, go for it.
I do think that my diet is not as bad as you guys think it is.
Well,
no, I
I
think it's pretty bad.
No, I know your diet. It's
yeah.
not as bad as they say it is.
Yeah.
I agree.
Who says who? I think it is hard.
I will
No.
know because I see that.
Just describe what he did yesterday.
Yesterday was a bad day.
But to be fair, Ivrea makes a lot of very good food that the both of
Yeah.
them eat. And it has,
eat it?
Oh,
yes,
always eat
and
all of
it
it,
is rich in nutrients. There's vegetables, there's everything, and Dylan does eat it.
Yeah.
So I will
every
give him
inch.
I will give him that. It may not have been necessarily him changing his diet, but
You were forced to.
Ivrea has helped his diet become better.
You're
he
alive because of her.
No, but he makes better
Some would say,
choices. I
sure.
think he makes better choices now because he realizes the difference between
hey, I'm not
eating.
gonna see my kids.
My usual morning is a protein bar and 2 eggs. Sometimes,
make eggs?
sometimes a banana.
No, you don't.
Of course I make
no,
eggs.
because you have that.
No,
you have
that's-
that little cooker thing,
Well,
right?
my mom got
yeah,
that
so
for me.
you don't actually cook
But
eggs.
who cares?
You don't actually cook
I
eggs.
make
You
them.
lazy SOB.
What are you talking about? I
You
make
lazy
but
SOB.
that invention exists to make life easier. I still have
Exists
eggs
for people like you.
Sure,
Oh
I
my
wouldn't
God.
argue that. Whatever makes
has
life
one.
easier.
Starts, you were cooked.
Do you still use one of those like phone dials to make calls, or do you use yourself? As technology, as technology advances.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna. I'm
Only
gonna.
a rotary phone.
I'm gonna keep going here, guys.
Moving on.
Anonymous anime lover donated
Hey,
$20.
Anonymous, thank you so much. And you saw Kevin's about the cookies?
Yeah, I went through
Okay,
that already.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you so much. Anonymous, thank you so much for the $20 super.
Anonymous
Appreciate
said, "Hi, Dylan, Calibro, Dredger, and Pete. It's been a while. I have to admit, still shocked with no Yu-Gi-Oh! 9.
you. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
New job in a doctor's office and going to Hawaii soon.
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush on Disney. Great voice performance. Long live Yu-Gi-Oh!
well, first of all, Anonymous, thank you so much for the very, very kind $20
Yes, thank you, Anonymous.
donation. And
hope
thank
you were well.
Yeah, hope you're well. Enjoy Hawaii. Thank you for the donation and the very kind words. I mean,
And congrats on the new job.
she is congrats on the new job. She is someone you remember from the days where we started 2018,
Yes.
2019.
Yep.
She has been a supporter of this channel,
Honestly,
donator.
I can't believe she's still here.
6
Putting
years
up with us
later.
for all this time. That deserves a reward in itself.
I agree. Through
agree,
the end
yeah.
of Reign, Sevens, the
agree.
filler arc. It is crazy. She is, I think, like one of the longest people that are still in the
sure.
streams.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So,
Absolutely.
And has always been such a kind person. So, Anonymous, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anonymous.
And yeah, a lot of us are still in shock
Yeah.
that
You haven't recovered, really.
Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 is not announced. I think I've recovered, but I'm still in shock.
you?
Well, and that's off too.
I don't think you've recovered.
Yeah.
Anonymous, we will get through this all together as
Yes.
a beautiful, big community. Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you.
We actually got 2 donations from the same person, but I'll read them separately. We got $20 from Snipedown71.
Oh, Snipe Down. Thank you so much. I
And
appreciate it.
Snipedown said,
let's do
easiest $20 I've ever spent.
Yeah, I hope
Off
it is.
topic, but Niners by 1,000,000 over the Rams next season. Back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion, and then in parentheses, love supporting the channel, boys.
Do you know Snipe Down?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that
No,
was
I saw the donation.
Oh, you saw
earlier.
the
Yeah,
Niners.
yeah.
Saw the donation earlier. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you spent $20.
Thank you,
on
Snipe
that.
Down.
I could spend $20 on you guys not making the playoffs last year. I hope you enjoyed your 6 wins and us going to the playoffs. And that Super Bowl you guys don't have in 30 years, sort of give or take. But yeah, that's great. I'm glad you spent $20. Thank you for supporting us. Appreciate that. But your team's trash.
Yeah,
Snipe Down, you did go after a Rams fan. It's going to happen. You're gonna
Snipe
get
Down
trashed
did
talk.
also come back and donate $10 more
Thank you.
and said, for the boys, thanks y'all for a great pre-bed podcast.
This guy.
I mean, besides
This guy.
be-
He got us on the great. He got us.
damn, dude, that was
Got
like
cooked twice.
yeah.
Wait, first of all,
I thought the message was
it
so
just says great. It just has 2 T's, but I said
I
great.
think that's how they meant it.
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
The
right.
great.
Hey, 3 great guys.
Three great guys. No, Snipe Down, very, very kind words.
thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
so
Snipe
much.
Down.
Seriously. I'm happy you use this as a pre-bed podcast. That is really cool, and I'm happy that you gave such a generous donation. It means the world to me, and that you said it was easy to do.
Now,
Yeah.
I would have suggested
So thank you.
taking the $30 you graciously sent us and put it to the Brock Purdy kind of QB future contract fund, because when you guys blow up the bank and pay him $60 or more million, have no money to spread on the rest of the team.
Not gonna be
You probably should have donated that. They're going to probably take some fan donations over there in Santa Clara.
They're going to be crowdfunding for the
Yeah, they're gonna be
49ers.
crowdfunding for that guy.
Oh, man.
Oh boy!
Thank you, Snipe
Yeah,
Down.
Snipe Down. I appreciate
Um,
you. Listen, he knew what the can of worms he was opening up when he took a
Hey,
shot at the Rams.
I welcome it.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
I
I know
welcome it.
you enjoyed the trash.
I'm here
talking.
for it.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, Snipe Down.
Thank you, Snipe Down. I'm gonna read some backlog.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Yeah, thanks. Sorry. Elaine, thank you for the 100 bits over on Twitch. Hi, Dylan and crew. Episodes 140, 142, and 144 were good. 143 and 145 were okay. 141 was bad. I sent you pictures on Discord on the episode to clear up what people keep saying. Asaka was the only one that didn't go through the time machine, which is not true. Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, I mean, there were others, right? I guess Manya didn't go through. Phaser didn't go through. I guess Asaka just views herself as such an important part of the team that she kind of felt like she was like the only person that didn't go through. But we do see the Ryugu brothers as well.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about Phaser.
No,
right
I can't.
now.
I
Okay?
can't. That
Especially
dragon.
his past clown show.
Yeah.
Guy's a clown.
Yeah. That dragon has like ruined my opinion of Phaser's character, which is not fair to him. I admit that.
I wanted Nick T here. The first thing I thought about when I saw that was Nick T. The first thing. And I wanted him here just for. I got to get his thoughts next time he's on. Just on that. This guy, man.
He's yeah. It's brutal. I'm excited to see Nick T. Shark
26.
2026, we'll see him, yeah. Shark Messiah, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Controversial take. I don't think this guy is Otis because of one lingering issue that I have not seen people talk about. Where did Yuhi's Otis helmet go? Like, he just woke up un-Otised, and we don't know where the helmet went at all. Fishy. Shark Messiah also donated another $2 to say, also, we still have the lingering question of Yuna wearing futuristic clothes and someone that is trying to fix/keep the timeline on the right path, which points to Yuga coming back in the picture, and hopefully Yuga versus Udius happens. I mean, I do hope that duel happens.
We're hoping.
As for this being the real Otis, I do think this is the Sevens Otis. I don't think they're going to make that more complicated than it needs to be.
I think it is Sevens Otis.
Where did the helmet go? I mean, it's a great question. Could have just fell off in the time travel. Yuhi maybe just could have thrown it off the cliff when he got his memories back.
I don't know.
They've done a lot of weird things like bring Kuyamuya, the cat, back, give Bruya memories while not giving the other Darkmen memories.
I also just think that Otis wouldn't have had that story of what happened after the duel with Yuga. Like in that episode when he explains, when we find out what happened, he wouldn't have the knowledge.
That's a great point because when
no one else in this show would have had that knowledge to tell him.
And he says exactly what happened in episode 92.
Unless somehow Yuga's using this guy as a puppet to pretend he's Otis, there's no other explanation.
Or he is Yuga. Right, I guess there's like some sort of very complicated way you can do it.
Wait, because he's been there for generations, so he got there as Yuga, and then now he's Otis.
I'm not getting too lost up on where the helmet is. I feel like that's just one of those things where it's like, it's a TV show, man. I mean, this stuff happened.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny plot point. They'll probably just drop it.
Yeah. I think Yuhi being Otis, starting, I felt pretty confident that Yuhi was not going to end up being Otis because I felt like they just invested in it way too early.
Maybe we'll keep it going. Maybe we do get a Yugioh 9, and the teaser for that is somebody finds the freaking helmet, and then we start the whole damn thing over again. Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, I'd be pumped.
And who else to find it but the 500 years ago Odos?
Dude. No, it's the ones in the
but
future.
You never know.
So now we're doing the
future.
Oh,
they find it in the future.
Futuristic Odos.
So like beyond Yuga.
Beyond Sevens.
Beyond Yuga, beyond Sevens,
I mean, Shark Messiah brought up some good points, and we'll
I agree.
Keep an eye out. The Mitsuko man, thank you for the $2 donation. Loved how despite Manabu almost drowning and getting caught in the trap, Neanderstar never went human to help him. Also, Otis ritual when, #justice for Mitsuko. I do think the Otis ritual is coming. But yeah, that was a great moment in 140 where Udius grabs Yumu.
Nobody even cares.
Zuo Jo grabs Neanderstar. And then Manabu
no one
gets
even cares. Then he
great
gets
moment.
Up. He's upside down the whole time.
Yep.
No one even cares.
If that happened in real life, he'd pass out.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But no one cares about this man.
No.
Ever.
Well, every time they take like a pot shot at him.
Even I think it was an episode or two later where Neanderstar took it, and he's just like, he's talking about Otis. He's like, I mean, I kind of get it. And then Yumu's like, what the hell? He's like, Manabu's easily swayed.
Yeah,
I'm like, this man is constantly taking strings.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's a shame for him, but the only episode where he's had the focus this arc and probably for the remainder of the show was that terrible episode. Yeah. Dude, he could have went out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the duel he had prior to this Gakugen one, I thought he beat Zuo Jo.
He beat Zuo Jo.
That's how he could have ended.
Yeah, and they give him this.
And we all thought that was going to be like his send off.
What a perfect send off.
Yeah, they give him this. Yeah. We need the soundboard back. Is there a growing anti-Manabu movement in America?
And that's not his fault. I mean, he was calling the guy a disgrace too, but you don't want to be lumped into that. Dark Emperor J, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Random question. Last week we had 3 snowstorms back to back to back. Streets are still unclear. What was the worst snowstorm New Jersey has ever had? It must have been at this point like over 10 years ago.
So
I
think I know there's 2 that I can remember that were pretty bad. One, I think all of us were present for this at Dredger's house.
2010.
20. I think we could drive though, so it might have been 2011.
I don't think we could drive. I think it was 2010. I think it was sophomore
You think we
year.
were all dropped off at his house?
I think it was sophomore
For
year.
some reason, I remember my car being there, but I could be wrong. Again,
Yeah.
it's 15 years.
Don't
15 years
Don't think
ago.
about it. Don't think about it.
But we all went to Dredger's house and we stayed over, and there was a huge blizzard. There was we had a snowball fight. We built these
we
huge
built
walls on both
forts. Yeah, it was
sides.
great.
It was awesome. And we probably had 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet of snow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
We
We were off for a while.
When I was in college, so this was I was living there 2015, I think. We had I think like around a foot of snow, and I just remember being at my friend's house, which was just like around the corner, and we were all just like playing video games, hanging out, like like 3 o'clock in the morning. I decide, all right, I'm gonna walk home now, and I walked outside, and there was like a foot of snow. The snow's coming down, and I just walked through the snow to get back to my house. So I wanted to sleep in my bed and not on their couch.
That's cool.
I remember.
But that's just like what I remember.
I have
from
no
it. Like,
memory of a bad snowstorm.
I remember in the early
Really?
2000s. I was a kid.
you weren't there.
Not at Dredger's,
Yeah,
no.
No,
no, I thought you were.
No.
Maybe
I
not.
thought you were too.
But it was the early 2000s. I was a kid, and it snowed at I think 2 feet. It was like the most snow I've ever seen in my life. And I remember I built with my dad an igloo in our front yard,
That's
like
awesome.
an
Yeah, that's
actual
really
good
cool.
one that you could go in and it
Oh,
didn't
that's so
collapse.
cool.
Yep.
And it was just the coolest thing. It's just like one of those childhood core
So cool.
memories
Yep.
that's there.
Mm-hmm.
But for better because I'm an adult now, it doesn't snow like that anymore.
No, it doesn't.
And now that I travel and work and stuff
hate
like
the
that
snow.
and work outside and all that, I'm very grateful that it doesn't snow the same
I
way.
hate this.
We don't get snow in Jersey anymore, which is nice.
Well, we do. We
it's
just
kind
don't
of
get
the new
snow like
Florida.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean,
So we got snow like
couple-
3
yeah,
times
we
in the
got-
last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like 2 inches. 3
yeah.
inches.
To me, snow's got to be up like to the top of the
Actually,
leg.
it was a great place that
So
you can move, man.
2.5 feet.
You can move to Buffalo. You'll get that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
you
about
could.
Yeah, they're very happy in Buffalo. Look up the. Never mind. Listen,
They are happy.
they're very happy.
They love it up
with
there.
their championship-less team.
At least their football team
Yeah.
in recent history is better than ours.
Yeah, I think Haley Steinfeld saw her. They asked, "Can you name the 4 teams in
Oh, I
the Bills
saw
division?"
that.
She said the Bills and the Bills kids.
The Bills' 3 sons.
The Bills' 3 sons.
I actually love that. That's great.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it
was-
was great.
it
No,
was
it
funny.
was beautiful because in the comments, the Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots fans, we all banded together to,
Oh, you mean 3 loser franchises?
actually 3 winner franchises. The Bills are the only ones
By
that
comparison-
are a loser
We're
franchise.
By
talking about
comparison.
currently. We're not talking about.
Oh, currently-
We're not talking about history.
currently,
of
we're
60
all,
years ago.
Currently, we're all losers, so I would agree with you.
But by comparison, they are the only team in the division without a title.
Correct.
Yes.
And I keep holding on to that for the Giants because we have the second most in our division.
Yeah,
so that's all I
sure.
can hold
Oh,
on to for a
boy.
while.
Of course.
That's all I can hold on
I'm
to.
a
at this point.
historian. Do you,
Love Mandalorian.
Yeah. Back to the future.
you got Kevin?
Cruise in the DeLorean.
Thank you, Dark Emperor.
Yes. We have $3 Australian from Electra Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
And Kevin said, which episode do you think was the worst rated this arc? I feel like this question is set up
trick.
to say that 141 is not the worst.
141's probably not. I mean, Nico ratings, as I've said many times.
Yeah.
You got to take them unserious, and I mean that because if you believe the Nico ratings are true, then you believe that Arc 5 had like 5 of the worst ever made episodes in the history of anime. Not the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, the history of anime. That's according to the Nico site. So again, it's a site you take with a little bit of a grain of salt.
I could see 140 being the lowest.
It's fun. It is fun to look at, but I don't think you can put any stock in it personally. But it is fun. I mean, I will say it is fun to look at. I'm going to say
I think it's 140 or 143 would be the lowest.
I'm going to guess 145.
Really?
I think it's 140.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
Kevin, give us the answer in the chat.
Yeah, I think it's 140 or 143.
You're guessing 140. You're going to guess 143 just to be different.
Yeah, I'll
And
guess
And I'll guess
143.
145.
140 was actually the highest. So
Wow.
They love that episode apparently. Love it.
Okay.
That right there shows you.
Well, that's exactly it.
Already
It's
skews it.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Right, so which one is the lowest?
If 144 is the lowest, that's an absolute joke.
Would you be shocked?
No, because again, I don't take anything that cites.
143.
Yeah, 143
So
was
you were
low.
right, yeah.
It's one of those things where it was kind of all over the place, you know, because you're going back and forth between 2v2 duels.
That's fair.
Besides the first two
And
episodes,
then-
it was my least favorite.
Yeah, and then the
ultimate.
ultimate ending of like the result is like they had more life points at the end of there, so they win. It just I understand it.
Yeah.
I still don't think it was as bad as 141.
It's very fun to look at the Nico ratings, but as I've said, I just don't take them seriously.
No, it's
But
like it's how I treat Rotten Tomatoes. Can't take it seriously.
My anime list is another one where it's like, those sites can also be botted if they really want it to be.
Yeah, you could just tank something you don't like.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
without seeing it.
But it is fun to look at, of course.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Kevin also donated another $8 Australian, and Kevin said, "Who do y'all think would win in a duel between Tiger and Rovian?"
It's a good one.
Boy.
I would probably pick
Rovian.
Rovian.
I'm going to pick Tiger.
I think Rovian.
You just hate Rovian.
Tiger beat Yugioh. I think that's better than any win Rovian
Hold
has.
on.
We got him, Chap.
We got him.
We got you.
Well, no.
Hey,
Name it.
USOB.
Rovian. Who did Rovian beat? Didn't she beat both twins in one duel?
Yeah, she bombarded them with...
That's
Fusion.
great. But Yuga, as you've said many times, is not a great duelist.
The worst
compared
He
to
is-
protagonists
you've ever said.
I would agree with that.
So-
from a dueling
So now it
perspective,
matters
from a
because
dueling,
it fits your narrative.
No, it doesn't matter. I just don't
matter.
think there's a win that Rovian has that's more impressive than Tiger beating Yugioh.
What about beating the twins?
I think the twins are
And
good
isn't
duelists.
it implied that she beat Udius, and that's why he turned into a T-shirt?
No. Okay. That's crazy. Hey, you know what? I give you that one.
If you
That was
seriously
good.
think
was
the
good.
Tiger over Yuga was more consequential and impressive than Rovian 2v1ing the twins, who are two of the three main characters,
Sure.
you're out of your mind.
I think it's comparable. I think she used
Yeah,
a
man.
mechanic.
But that's what they all do.
Not Tiger. When Tiger beat Yugioh, it was a fair win.
It was on his own turn that he lost.
Which I would argue is more impressive. I bet you that's happened less than 10 times in Yu-Gi-Oh. Listen, but you know what? It's so close, and I don't feel passionate enough about it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to argue.
Yeah.
If somebody says Rovian, sure. They're very close.
You're just a Rovian.
Guys,
I'm not a Rovianator. I think they're very close, but I think I would give the edge to Tiger, but it's very close.
Guys, I just want to point out I was joking about the T-shirt thing. I wasn't being serious because everyone's correcting me. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, no,
I'm not being
that was
serious.
Calibro being a troll. Yes, that was.
I was trying to throw fake points into a real argument, and
That's what you do in debates, though,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
You
You
learn
just
from,
you throw stuff at the wall
Yeah,
and
he's
hope it
learning from
sticks.
you.
Yeah.
or from Skip Bayless.
Well, that's the scary part is I am learning from him.
Holy shit, that was funny. Kevin, thank you so much. Shark Messiah, thank you for another $2 donation. One last thing I haven't seen people talk about is Yugioh might not be okay. He was knocked out after suffering from the effects of Monster Reborn. He could have been affected mentally by those events, but it all comes down to how these episodes go.
Yeah.
Listen, you could totally be right about that, Shark. I just want Yugioh to show up. And we all think he will.
I do.
But
I hope so.
But I've seen a lot of people say that he should, and they don't think he will. So
Would you be shocked, honestly, if he didn't show up? I wouldn't.
you know what?
I wouldn't even be shocked.
I would be. I would be majorly disappointed.
Because it'll always be the thing of, well,
He made
he
it.
made it to his other timeline.
I know,
we've already seen it.
if they never show like the rocket from 92, I guess we're just supposed to assume.
Assume he made it there.
But I will never assume that.
Yeah.
I will never.
I'm sure
assume
that will be a theory video for your future.
It will be.
I
You could
just think
die.
that they can't.
That's crazy. I'm not watching that theory video, dude.
What I was gonna say was
If they don't show him again, what are we supposed to assume?
they can literally end the
made it
show. No, but like they could just end the show with the same scene, and it's like, okay, he actually did make it home.
Imagine
They probably will.
Yeah, he actually did make it home after all that. You know?
And then Yui says, "Man, what a life!" And then it shows the moon, and then that's the end.
I'm telling you, and he found his something. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Holy crap, dude! Come on.
Something's on the moon.
Yeah.
Would you like me to continue? Or?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Thank you, Shark.
We got $5.01 Canadian from Pick Rick.
Thank you, Pick.
And Pick the Rick says, guys, listen. If 147 is Otis's last duel and he loses, he is officially 0-10 Otis. It's so perfect.
It's perfect for the meme.
Is it perfect for the story?
It's not perfect for the story.
Perfect.
No, he.
And that would be his last duel, so he wouldn't even be the final villain for the show.
It would have to be
the
Yugioh at
last
that point,
duel
yeah.
would be him against the Nanahoshis.
Him getting taken down by the Nanahoshis.
It is so bad. It's not even conceivable.
I don't
It's not
even
conceivable.
want to think about that.
Yeah, it's not conceivable.
I don't even want to think about
I
it.
do. Let's talk about it.
That I mean, you thought Dredger had passion tonight. Just wait
I
until
told you.
that
I said if
happens.
that happens, I'm going on the nastiest rant you've ever heard.
Oh, and I will be
I
celebrating.
still feel.
everybody's
I
misery.
still actually feel pretty good enough about the show wrapping things up.
Yeah.
From what I want to see. But I will lose a lot of faith.
You said it. You'll say it'll tank the show.
Yeah,
But
I will lose a lot of faith.
As much as it would tank the show, like my point when I brought that up was
I know,
just
I
the
hate
simple
it.
fact
I
that
hate it, though.
Otis doesn't win but still gets what he wants.
I hate it.
So that is a realistic possibility where
I agree.
I
It
know it is.
happens.
That's why I hate it.
and it's like he needs them to win so that it can activate and suck him into the time machine, like something stupid like that, where it's like that's all part of my plan.
At some point, bro's got to win.
And
I mean,
no,
at some
no.
point.
Hey, I agree, but like my point is that they've done it before, and they could do it again, and then they could still go chasing after him to try and stop him from whatever he's trying to do, and then ultimately he doesn't win a duel, but he's still a threat.
Mark Liu, thank you for the $2 donation. And you're right. They could do that.
I'm not even surprised that man's going to get out of prison. Like, the way that they took him out of there, it doesn't even look like they properly tied that rope around him. It looks like they lassoed him, but didn't, like, make a knot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder he got out.
They're terrible. Mark, thank you. Excuse me for the $2 donation. Watch this clip if Go Rush gets an extension. I put the link in the Go Rush spoiler chat in the Discord, and then it's a link. I guess I can click that chat.
we're
I don't
caught up to where we
usually. Yeah. I will watch it, Mark, and I will write in the Discord after I do. Early 147 preview.
Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing? Yeah, Dylan's pulling it up for you.
Oh, my God.
Now that's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an early
Yeah, we got a screenshot.
we got
from
exclusive
the episode.
image. We got a preview image for 147.
I hate life, dude.
That's funny, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Shout out to Prime in the Discord for that.
For the audios only, it's the cutout of Otis going through the wall, that whole cutout, and they edited in the Nanahoshi standing there looking all tough, like they just put him through the wall.
They're also standing in front of
In
you.
front of UDS, yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
crazy.
No, that's the best part is that he's still in that. Like that's what makes it so much better.
That they're just both like, you know what? We got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they handled the
can
biggest
handle it.
threat. to Joe.
That picture makes them both seem so much more badass and
Oh,
cool
yeah.
than anything they've actually done
ever
in the show.
been in life.
That's
well,
unbelievable.
I don't know about all that.
Oh my God, dude. Mark, thank you for the donation. God, maybe I should go into that. Well, the reason I stay out of that spoiler chat in my Discord is because usually we're not caught up,
Yeah.
but we were caught up. So I was like, oh, I can
Yeah.
actually look in it. Oh my God, that's so funny. What an edit.
No,
It's a brilliant.
yeah. That was we got $5 Canadian from Dylan Peddle.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thanks.
And Dylan said GX is taking over Go Rush time slot in April. Take that as you will.
Yeah, but I don't know if I've heard conflicting reports on that, and we don't know that for sure. When GX Remaster was first announced, somebody, I think it was Yugioh put that it's taking over the Go Rush time slot. And then I think it was like DMC or somebody else from Yugioh came out and said, wait, actually, maybe it was JBix. We actually don't know when it's airing. So at this
I don't think we know
point, we don't know when the GX Remaster is airing. Yeah. If there's a source I'm not aware of, please send it to me. But I do not believe we have any actual confirmation as to when the GX Remaster is airing. For the record, the DM Remaster aired while Arc 5 and Vrains aired as well, just on a different day and a different time slot. So I believe that is still not confirmed, Dylan, but I know where you got that from because that was, I think, in the Yugioh org article back in December, but then that was quickly like rebutted, and we don't know yet. It could end up being the case, but it's not confirmed as of now. I'm getting another water, but thank you, Dylan, for the super.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. I do want to point out one thing. That image that we put up with Ron with the Nanahoshi's in there, I will put that on the T-shirt if they win. I will put that image. The image of them with the hole in the wall, unless I have one, unless there's a more epic one that somehow comes out, like in the actual episode, also, that's it.
If like, let's say it doesn't come out in a batch and we get like these episodes out, you do a review and the outcome happens that way. That has to be the thumbnail.
That's the thumbnail.
That's the thumbnail.
It'll be, usually I put 4 photos in the thumbnail. I'll do one
That's
with
gotta
that.
be the thumbnail.
I'll have to ask Prime if he's okay with it, but yeah.
Yep, absolutely. But thank you, Dylan. We got another $20 from Anonymous Anime Lover.
Thank you, Anonymous, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anonymous. Anonymous said,
you.
of course I'll always support the channel because it's the discussion, fun, and actually helped me in the past just knowing there is a fan community. Long live Yu-Gi-Oh!
Anonymous, thank you. You know, when I first started streaming, there was a lot of nerves. There was a lot of question marks. It really is because of the streams that I was able to a couple of months ago finally make the leap to do full-time content. What I mean by that is you guys always come through with not even the donations. I mean, the donations, yes, but also
just
being here, commenting, being in these streams consistently for the last 7 years. The streams are really what has allowed me to take this leap. Anonymous, you've been a generous donator from the very beginning. I'm very appreciative of you. I owe you a lot, so thank you so much. We have the Wednesday night slots planned for April going forward.
Yeah.
One week we will be doing the Chronicles podcast for the lore anime.
We need a better name for that.
Another week, we'll think of one. Another week
Name
we will
pending.
be doing an After Dark, so that'll be once a month. And then there's another fun show that will be very similar to this one.
I'm excited for
Not covering a specific anime, but covering Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to unveil more details about that show very soon, probably in mid-March. But hopefully you guys will enjoy that, and hopefully you'll be here on Wednesday nights with us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun segments, and a lot of goofy stuff. So I'm very excited for it. So the
Pete,
Wednesday night content's going to continue.
I got the podcast. It's the Chronicles podcast.
This guy, man.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of this guy.
Yeah. I'm taking over.
You might, dude. Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing.
He's taking over.
Anonymous, thank you so much. There is plenty, Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 or not, and I truly mean this, Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 or not, there's plenty more to come from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Anonymous. She's awesome.
Oh, I'm good. It's all Dylan.
Well, Natalie Cybertips is here. Natalie, thank you for the $2 donation. I finally watched the dub of Go Rush episode 2, and they removed Manabu's cat puns. We actually did that 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
I loved a crazy cat guy, Silly. He's so cool, and I really enjoy Rush shows and Vrains. Why do I like these two? Because they are on extremes tonally, like Polar Winter. Natalie also donated another $2. Thank you, Natalie. Also, what the F? Blood really hates Yuga to be theorizing Yuga's death. First crap talking, then antagonizing, and now Yuga's death. Yusaku, Yuhi, and Yuga are best pro tags. Also, Yuga is not the worst protagonist, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's Yuya. Okay, let me clarify very quickly for Natalie.
Clarify.
That was a one-liner. I do not actually believe that Yuga is dead, nor do I want Yuga to be dead. The problem is if they do not show an actual conclusion to his character arc, and I do not believe what happened at the end of season 2 of the show is a good way to conclude his character arc.
That would be it.
That would be it. I get it. But because he's just unconsciously sent into some portal, we don't know. Right. And people will, not me, people will theorize that maybe he didn't make it. And I don't want that theory to even be possible because I like Yuga so much.
I don't think they're going to be theorizing he didn't make it like he's dead. They're going to theorize he didn't make it to his timeline.
Which I've already I made a video on it. I already theorized it. Listen,
I think you're going to be greatly disappointed, my guy. And
Yuga's showing up.
I think Yuga, that might be.
No, Yuga's showing up.
Okay.
Sure.
I hope so.
He's got it, man.
Please.
Yuga and Udius need to show up. I mean, Yugioh and Otis.
Well, if Udius doesn't show up, we're gonna have bigger problems.
Yugioh and Otis need to have good conclusions to their
I agree.
stories. If that happens, I think the show will fall into place.
Yeah,
So.
I do think so, and I think that if there's other small things that don't get answered, those two things can make up for any like plot point that's not concluded.
Agreed.
Or we could just do a Yugioh 9 and Yugioh ends up there and he's guy
what is-
again.
But before we wrap things up, what is your likelihood that at the end of Go Rush, assuming it's March, we get something that hints at another show? What percentage likelihood do you give that?
5%.
I was gonna say 5. Yeah.
I was gonna say 0.
Yeah.
So,
I think
I just
think
don't
it's
think they're
extremely
gonna
for
do
right
it.
now, up until Jump Festa, we're cooked.
Yeah, I agree.
We're getting Chronicles and that's it.
I honestly think there'd be a better chance if, like, during the Chronicles, like, while the Chronicles is going on, there's something at, like, the end of, like, I don't know if they're doing seasons or not,
I don't know
it's
how
going to
they're
work.
doing it. I think they're
If,
just
like, maybe at the end of the first season of the Chronicles anime, like, there's just something that is, like, be on the lookout for whatever.
yeah.
Like, but honestly, I think you're right. I think it's more of a Jump Festa or big event type thing that it'll get announced. So.
A date to look for, in case you're wondering about Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, assuming we do not get anything here at the end of Go Rush, if it ends in March, July. July, Konami is usually at an event. I don't remember what the name of the event is, so I apologize for that. But if you remember, July of 2019, rewind yourself about 5.5 years, Vrains was still going on, and they came out and said, we are working on the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime.
Yeah, I
on
guess
the
we could
7th Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. So maybe they will do something and they'll give us a heads up in July at the event they go to, and then we'll get the official reveal at J Festa, but I don't know, man.
Feels very unlikely.
Only 10 short months.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we're doing
We'll
that
see.
from a whole new state, a whole new place, and getting ready just to be
Whole new
desperate.
life.
we'll make it work. We always do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. It's great to be back with Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! We said at the end of 139's podcast, we probably only have like 2 or 3 episodes of Crazy 8's left.
Yeah.
This is the first one since. And with only 6 episodes to go
Could be our second to last.
now that they're released in like batches, hopefully we get to do 2 more, maybe 1 more before the
I'm
ending. But we'll see.
Yeah.
It depends when the team releases it, and we'll see how it goes. But I do want to thank you all for being here and for watching episodes 140 to 45. Natalie, thank you for the $4 donations. Hashtag protect my silly boy Yuga. And bro is backtracking. I literally heard you theorize his death. Best girl, Aoi, Robin, and Yuamu. I like that trifecta.
Yeah.
That's a solid
What about
trifecta.
the first part?
That I theorized his death.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of did.
All I said
He
was,
said it with a giggle.
I said a one-liner. Check the tape.
Like this guy, a giggle of like, almost like you would have been happy about it.
No. I like Yuga a lot.
I think not the way you talk about
You have tried to put into people's
I
minds.
have not.
that I do
only
not like
used,
Yuga.
You took a shot at him earlier with the Tiger loss.
No,
You're
no,
always
no.
taking
No,
shots.
No, he actually said that Yuga was a bigger win. Like Tiger
Yeah, no, I
beating
gave
him
him
was
credit.
bigger than the
No, but that is you're still taking a shot at the man.
No, I'm,
He was
I'm
actually
expecting his
saying-
dual
You're
fiver.
falling.
No,
for
no,
it,
no.
man.
What he
But
said.
I understand what he's saying, but you are falling for it. He doesn't actually believe that. He's only using that to fit that particular narrative in that moment.
Well,
he doesn't
I agree.
believe
No,
that.
no, I agree
He
with that,
actually,
but
he
I
thinks
think-
Yuga is an easy clap up win.
He
He's
is.
only using
He's a
this because
cupcake
it
win.
fits his argument at this moment.
No.
I think what he's trying to say here
She beat Caterpillar.
is that it was an what he was saying was that Yuga was basically a better duelist than the twins.
Yeah, but he doesn't
That's
believe
what
that.
his
I
theory
believe
is.
that. You don't believe that.
I just the record speaks a little differently.
One day, and we said me and you were going to have a debate video on this channel. Is going to be about that man. When this is all over.
I'm looking forward to it.
I will MC in the middle if you want, like just like this,
Can't wait.
and I'll have a notebook and I'll write down
Yeah.
your points. Before you sign off though, we got $5 from Ice Aiden.
Thank you,
Ice
Ice
Aiden.
Aiden. Good to see you, Ice.
Pressure.
Nice,
you.
good teamwork. Hey, Yuki Bros, I haven't seen all the episodes yet. What do you think of the Royal Rumble winner, Yeet, Also, my mom is having surgery tomorrow morning.
Good luck to her.
Yes, good luck to your mom. Yeet to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I love Jay.
Yeah, we will keep
Yeah.
your mom in our thoughts for sure. I hope everything goes well with the
Yes,
surgery,
of
first
course.
and foremost. Secondly, thank you so much for the generosity and the donation. Yeah, Royal Rumble, I was crazy unpredictable, and I like it almost from just the perspective of like, the men's one, just not being able to ever see that one coming. And
very good.
like while obviously WWE is scripted, obviously it makes you kind
Still
of
don't know what's going to
it's
happen.
a good reminder
Yeah.
that like sometimes you really have no idea what the hell they're gonna do, and from that perspective, I really like it.
The Charlotte one, very obvious.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
knew
like that one.
exactly where that was going.
But she comes back, she gets right into the main event title shot. It's kind of a meme at this point. I feel like they play
yeah,
into
she'll
it.
probably win it too.
I hope not, but I think she will.
She probably will.
Yeah. So I like and then the Owens Rhodes match I thought was great.
Yeah, and now they're doing him
Owens,
and Zayn.
Zayn. Oh,
Again.
How many times are we going to do this, guys?
I think it's gonna be a good match though.
I hope so.
In Canada, I
You
think
know,
that'll
you
be
know
good.
what's hilarious though, just about Owens Reigns. It's like, or Owens and Sami Zayn. It's like we were really intensely watching WWE as like a group for a while, right? And it was all Roman Reigns and like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens like started feuding. Now this is, the whole Roman Reigns reign up until the end of Cody finishing his story, and we're back again at Sami Zayn and Owens feuding again.
I know.
It's like
Anonymous.
somebody else.
I usually don't read chat. Anonymous anime lover, thank you for the donations. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
But I know
Yeah.
it's a lot of similar
Yeah,
feuds,
it's
but
funny.
that's what they do. It's guys who are like comfortable working with each other,
Oh,
Yeah.
Fancy Pants is who you call Seth Rollins. Yes,
That-
Yeah.
I-
Makes
I-
sense.
I want to say thank you to all of you guys. You guys came by tonight. You guys donated very, very generously. These donations, these super chats, these viewers, these listeners back, they allow us to do this. So
yeah.
from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And the guys to my left and Dredger and Nick T allow us to do this as well. So a huge thank you to them. They are just as big of a part of the Talking Yu-Gi-Oh team as I am, and I'm very, very grateful for them. So I'm going to let them promote whatever's going on. Nick T, check out his music stuff at Nameling. Dredger streams on Twitch at Dredgenator. Calibro, and then we'll go Pete.
He literally said your name
And pointed at you.
So
Yeah.
go.
Well, I said Caliber, and then we'll go Pete.
No, but you didn't point at me. You just said Calibro, and then we'll go Pete, and you pointed
Yeah,
at Pete the whole time.
He sees right through you, man. He doesn't even take you seriously.
He doesn't even know I'm here. He didn't even know I lived here for like 3 months. No, I really don't have anything to promote. Just appreciate everybody being here. I feel like tonight was a lot of fun. We had
So
a lot
fun.
of
Last week was
a lot,
fun. too.
yeah.
We had some good ones.
We've had some good ones, and it's always a lot more fun to just see everybody going off in chat too, and it's a good time. So I just appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah, you know me over on YouTube, Clueless Gamers. Right now, the whole situation. My computer still is the same way, so there's not been anything over there. If you've been wondering, so I do apologize for that. But I'm over on Dylan's Twitch channel, Super Deep Rot. Tomorrow night, Thursday nights, 8:30 EST. We're going to continue Jedi Survivor. I guess we only have. I don't know how long the game is, but I'm thinking we have this one and one more next week, because the week after you'll be in the middle of your gigantic stream.
Yeah, actually, the next
So-
2 Wednesdays we will not be live. I was going to say that
Yeah, well,
after you.
I was just thinking for the Thursday
Yes.
part of it. So come over there. We'll see how far we can get. Check that out. 8:30 EST.
Yes, and thank you, Caliber Pete, and shout out to Dredger and Nick T as well. Next Wednesday we will not be live. I will not be in the state for Wednesday. I have to go take care of some wedding things, so
Woo!
staying
Yeah.
overnight, but will not be here Wednesday.
Drop the exact address it'll be at.
And then in 2 weeks,
I'll drop a pin in chat.
we are going to be doing the early days collection stream. So hopefully you'll see some of the guys on that stream if they're able to help during certain time slots. Still going to work that out with you guys. Yeah, I haven't coordinated it yet. If you're available, there's no pressure. But yeah, so the next 2 Wednesday nights there will not be a podcast, but then we'll be back on March 10th. March 12th. Wednesday.
way away.
If 146 gets released, I will try my best to either do a podcast Tuesday or maybe Friday night next week.
Gotcha.
We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see if that works, but no
We'll play
promises.
that by ear.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I hope Crazy 8's is back very, very soon. You guys are all amazing. As always, thank you all for watching. This has been Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's episodes 140 through 145. Will the real final villain please stand up?
Close.
Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have
An amazing day.
Take care,
Good night,
guys.
y'all.
Have a great night.
Good.